30-point fourth quarter, their largest of their season. And for the Clippers, they will head to Detroit in need of a bounce back. Ivica Zubac, 35 points, a career high. 13 from Bogdanovic, 21 from Harden, 21 in 37 minutes from Kawhi. Coffey with 13. 34 from Durant, 19 in the fourth quarter. 17 from Booker, 16 from Richards, 14 from Plumlee. And for the Clippers, an opportunity to come away with a win. And in the fourth quarter, they crumbled down the stretch. 6 for 19, 31%, and 1 for 7 from 3. Well, that will do it for us. Adam Oslin will take over and take your calls. We will see you on the flip side. For Carlo Jimenez, Michael Brenner, our statistician, and Brian DeBose, our engineer, saying see you in a few. Final score, Phoenix overcomes the Clippers 23-point lead and takes one away for the Clippers, 119 to 117. See you in a few on our Clippers Audio Network.
Guys, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is one of the worst losses of the last 6 years. Disaster. Inexcusable. Disgusting loss. We're going to be here all night. I know it. And we just witnessed the Clippers' worst loss of the season, blowing a 23-point lead in Phoenix to the Suns, where they would fall by a final score of 119 to 117. Welcome into your postgame show. Coming up, we won't be able to find any second half highlights. We will break down the box score and what transpired down the stretch. But first, let's get back out to Phoenix and get your radio voice of the Clippers and Carlo Jimenez. Carlo, there's two things right away I'm looking to hear from Coach Lou post-game, which is we stopped playing with pace and we stopped trusting the pass out there. That's what I saw late offensively. And on the defensive end, they just could not defend without fouling. And the Suns were quicker to the basketball on those offensive rebounds and the hustle plays.
Yeah, I mean, you have to give credit to Phoenix in this one, Adam. They came out focused in the fourth quarter. They got to the rim. We mentioned it earlier in the quarter, but they have some incredible individual scores. And I didn't think that would include Colin Gillespie tonight, but he played like it. Plus 21 in 14 minutes for this Phoenix team. Durant, 10 for 10 from the free throw line. And, Adam, as I look at these fourth quarter splits, I mean, this Phoenix team just dominated. They shot 14 free throws. They hit 6 threes, 13 makes on 19 attempts. And the Clippers just unable to find a way down the stretch. This is one of those gut check games for the Clips where you go home, you look yourself in the mirror, you're glad you have an opportunity tomorrow against the Detroit Pistons. But, man, if you're the Clippers, 2 or 3 possessions away from making this a 28, 29-point lead in the third quarter. And then, unfortunately, it all fell apart for this team. 8 for 30 from 3. I think they hit 1 3 in that fourth quarter. They were aggressive early to free throw line. You talked about them moving the ball really, really well. Adam, 15 first-half assists, and they finished with just, I guess, 14 in the second half. The only bright spot in this game is Ivica Zubac. Career high 35 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. Did not have a turnover despite having the ball all that time. I mean, in a 3-point loss, he was a plus 22, which is hard to believe. But props to Big Zoo. A career night. I thought he might have a career shot with that baseline slap. It did not go, and the Clippers will now look towards the Pistons.
Honestly, there were some possessions here in the fourth quarter, Carlo, where the Clippers were outscored by 21 points in the fourth, which is extreme. That is a rarity to see in this league. There were some possessions out there where the Clippers settled for three-pointers when Zoo had his man sealed down low and is having a career night, and they still didn't go to him. And I just don't know what it's going to take sometimes. They went to him some in the fourth, but he's having a career night. He had Devin Booker on him in the paint. And there was a three-pointer taken by James Harden. Look, he's the top 75 player ever. He's one of the greats. He's the MVP of this team so far this season. But their offensive process overall collectively in the fourth quarter was just very poor.
The tough part about those threes too, Adam, is oftentimes Harden, because he put so much arc on the ball, is missing long. And if you don't grab the rebound, those are leakouts and runs for this Phoenix team, who finished with 14 fast break points on 6 attempts in this ball game. And they were able to get offense generated because they beat the Clippers down the floor. We talked about it, but the Clippers are a top 5 team in the NBA in half-court defense. They struggle in transition defense. It's been a theme all season long, and it was a theme today. Unfortunately, the Clippers not able to get back on the defensive end on those long misses from James Harden. Obviously would love to see them get Ivica Zubac the ball more. You said you wanted more than 9 shots. He got 18, but even in a game like this, I mean, the dude hit 12 straight shots at one point. Like, feed him until they triple team him.
Right.
I don't care if he shoots over the double team if you're the Clippers at that point in the ball game. And then the Clippers stars struggled a little bit. I mean, 14 for 34 between Harden and Kawhi, but the bigger number, Adam, 3 for 15 from 3 between those two. That is killer between two guys who are traditionally really good three-point shooters, going ice cold for the Clippers. Man, you can't get to Detroit quick enough if you're this Clipper team. You want to turn the page, no doubt. This was one that did not go their way in a game in which they had the answers. They then somehow, some way, filled out the bubbles wrong and just fell apart in this ball game.
This Clippers team loses a 23-point lead tonight in Phoenix to the Suns. Another, my God, was it 23 or 21, that Halloween game where the Suns came out in that third quarter and went 15 to 15?
3.
Oh my goodness. I did not need to feel this deja vu that I'm feeling right now, Carlo. The Clippers blow a 23-point lead and lose 119 to 117 in Phoenix to the Suns. They gave them life. They got them feeling good. The Suns got back to playing defense, and the Clippers simply got away from what was working throughout most of the ball game, leading to their worst loss of the season. This was as close as you get to a must-win game. That just means it puts tomorrow's game under the magnifying glass even more against the Detroit Pistons back at Intuit Dome. There's no place like Dome. There's no place like home. There's no place like Dome. The Dome is home. The Clippers need a victory desperately tomorrow. 7:30 tip it Intuit Dome. We'll have your pregame show starting at 6:30. Carlo, great call as always. Safe travels. Back to Intuit Dome. Back to Los Angeles. We will see you there tomorrow.
Adam, the only positive I got for you tonight is for the first time since February 12th, I can see you tomorrow. Let's go.
You're going to have to behold me. Clippers lose 119 to 117 in Phoenix to the Suns and let go of a 23-point lead. We'll get to your post-game box score and more coming up next right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Guys, I'm pulling the sound card out every break. You got to have a sense of urgency after a loss like this. There's no time for commercials. There's no time for silence. I do not enjoy the silence. I can't believe this loss, but I can because it's Phoenix. And I kept saying over and over again, the Suns get confidence against the Clippers. They came back on them down 9 with 3 minutes left. The first game at Intuit Dome, the first game of the season. They came back on them 21 on Halloween. Now in Phoenix, they come back down 23. And send this team into complete disarray. This is one of the worst losses of the last 6 years. This is one of the worst losses I've ever been a part of. I've been here since 2016. I'm in disbelief how the Clippers blew that game. I'm in disbelief how Ivica Zubac could finish a plus 22 and they lose that game. So wait a second. They got outscored. In the 11 minutes without Ivica Zubac, they got outscored by 24 points. They got outscored by 24 points in 11 minutes without Ivica Zubac.
Whoever you are, the excitement and relaxation you're looking for is here. Play your perfect combination.
This is new levels of hell.
Official partner of the LA Clippers. The LA Clippers. You're listening to LA Clippers basketball.
You know, Clippers talk and your post-game show off air, a little bit wilder than on air. Welcome back. I'm Adam Moslin. Totally sane after the Clippers lose a 23-point lead in Phoenix to the Suns with a final score of 119 to 117. Worst loss of the season. One of the worst losses I've ever seen by this Clippers team over the last 8 years. There's no way to sugarcoat this. This is rock bottom. This is as bad as it gets in a, well, maybe not stacked at the top of the Western Conference with elite teams. It's still extremely competitive. And by my standings, the Clippers just dropped to the 8th spot in the West after this loss. Nope. Refresh, 9th spot. The pain is endless. This is one they had to have. This is one where they played one of their best quarters of the season in the second. How do you have a quarter played that well? This reminds me of the Bucks loss to start off this road trip. You have that great third quarter and a miserable fourth quarter where you led by 13. They had a second quarter that was unbelievable from this team with the pace they played with, the ball movement, everything. And they end up getting beat by 21 points in the fourth quarter. They couldn't defend without fouling. Their offense got stagnant. That pace, that ball movement was gone. There were far too many hero shots taken out there. Kill shots that seemed to end up with self-inflicted wounds and long rebounds, as Carlo Jimenez pointed out. Those missed three-pointers. The Clippers weren't getting defensive rebounds to close out possessions. Everything and anything that could go wrong did go wrong in the fourth quarter. Kawhi didn't take over. James Harden definitely didn't take over. A missed free throw, not the one he was trying to miss. Ivica Zubac was still ignored at times when he had Devin Booker on him, and he had a career game of 35 points on 15 of 19 shooting with 10 boards, and he's a plus 22 in a game they lost by 2. He played 37 minutes. That means in the 11 minutes he was off the floor, the Clippers went minus 24. That is nearly impossible. They have done the impossible. They lost a game they never should have lost, up by 23 to the hated Phoenix Suns, who swept them in the season series. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. More post-game locker room show. Clippers blow a 23-point lead. They lose 119 to 117 to the Phoenix Suns. Did I mention it's the front end of a back-to-back, and a lot of these guys aren't going to be available tomorrow? Hits keep on coming. I'm Adam Moslin. You're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network.
But when disaster strikes, it takes.
Oh, and it was on national TV. You're right. Good point.
Your Southern California Ford
Embarrassing.
First responders with donations and support to the LA Fire Department and California.
Producer Daniel West said largest fourth quarter comeback in Suns history. That's embarrassing.
The Southern California Ford dealers are offering you employee prices.
It takes all of us to turn
Just
faith into hope and make it home.
completely inexcusable.
Built Ford proud.
Nothing compares to catching Clippers basketball IRL.
End of the third quarter was poor.
Than you, LA fans. This season
Clippers
is even more exciting.
hunting for three-pointers. James Harden miss. Batum miss. Harden miss.
Redefines the way
They're trying to
people
just
play basketball.
have those kill shot threes.
Like the interactive Halo board and 51 rows of uninterrupted seats in the wall.
Settling far too
Be
much.
sure to take it all in and experience the NBA IRL like never before.
Letting the Suns gain steam, get back into this game.
Clippers home game at
Who do I blame?
the official ticket marketplace of
There's
the
plenty to
NFL
go around
and the NBA.
because
Get you into the game.
forgetting about Ivica Zubac, they fed Zoo though. They literally didn't when he had Devin Booker on him and Harden went for a three instead. Like you may say, oh, see, they gave the ball to Ivica Zubac. They couldn't stop him. Zoo should have had 45. Treat him like Shaq when he's dunking and scoring like Shaq.
Give me the wildest thing that you guys have.
They had no answer.
The only league that plays 48 minutes. I am a fan of 40.
I thought Kawhi and his lack of aggressiveness down the stretch,
Incidentally, if you went to a 40-minute game,
they just took their foot off the gas completely and they couldn't find the pedal once they needed to. They thought it was over. I thought it was over. The Suns looked like they were ready for Cancun, and you gave them life. The Suns look cooked.
You're listening to LA Clippers basketball.
What's the lineup, Fight Club? This is your life, and it's ending a second at a time. I'm Adam Moslin. Welcome back in. Clippers blow a 23-point lead in Phoenix to the Suns. They give them their biggest comeback in franchise history in the fourth quarter. Suns win 119 to 117 over your Los Angeles Clippers after just a disastrous ending to this ball game, where the Clippers could not find the gas pedal after taking their foot off of it. They couldn't regain momentum. The Suns looked like they didn't want to be there. There's infighting. KD is pushing his coach's arm off of him and Coach Bud. Bradley Beal doesn't play in the second half. And the Clippers still found a way to lose a game to a team that looked like they were ready to implode. That has been begging for the offseason to come and take them away. With reports out there that they're going to trade Kevin Durant. And you give them their most galvanizing, rallying win of the season to a team that's a rival of yours in the Pac-Div. We will have Chuck Mockler on in Clippers Talk. Clippers have to find a way to bounce back tomorrow. But how many times have I been saying they need to find a way to win the next game? You're up 23. That is certainly one you need to find a way to win. Tomorrow, without Kawhi Leonard, they're going to have to find a way to beat the Detroit Pistons, who just beat them in Detroit. Tip off from Intuit Dome, home sweet home, after this 8-game road trip from hell, where they went 2-6. Tip off is at 7:30. We'll have your pregame show starting at 6:30 outside of Los Angeles. We are leaving you until then. Coming up next here on AM 570 LA Sports. Oh, we got Clippers talk. If there was a game to break the rule with Kawhi Leonard not playing back-to-backs, tomorrow is that game. Things are that dire. It is DEFCON 1. The season does feel to be on the line. But I would not expect that to happen. And I understand he hasn't been able to finish the last 4 seasons. Unfortunately, right now, it doesn't feel like the Clippers have the luxury of just get Kawhi healthy for the playoffs. Because the playoffs are in doubt. And I heard myself sound like Jim Mora when I said that. Playoffs? I'm sorry. Play-in is in doubt. Postseason is in doubt. They are a half game up on the Dallas Mavericks, who just lost Kyrie for the year. Thanks, Nico. Great move once again. Yes, I'm blaming Nico for everything. This is the new thanks, Obama. He's responsible for this Clippers disaster, too. This doesn't happen if he doesn't trade Luka Doncic. I'm sure of it. Morale is hurting throughout the league, but no one is suffering more from this trade outside of Dallas than the Clippers. I am getting apoplectic after this loss. Egregious. Egregious. You can't give away a game like that to a team that doesn't even want it. I mean, wouldn't it be appropriate now if the Suns caught him to knock him out of the play-in? They don't have the tiebreaker against them, I'm pretty sure. They lost all 4 games. We're taking your calls on the LA. It's like there's rock bottom, 50 feet of crap, and then me. To quote Rachel Green, Jennifer Aniston from Friends, as the Clippers just blew a 23-point lead in Phoenix to the Suns, and they lose 119 to 117. And they have lost 6 of their last 7 games coming out of the All-Star break. And it's not going to get any easier with this schedule. Welcome into Clippers Talk. 866-987-2570. 866-987-2570 is the phone number. We'll get to a couple calls. We'll have Chuck Mockler in the very next segment. I see you guys in the chat at Clippers Talk on the YouTube side. I understand your extreme disappointment, frustration, and agonizing pain from what you just went through and have been going through over the last couple of weeks. There is no way to dress this pig up. There's not enough lipstick. Mary Kay. There wasn't like, a truck that spilled lipstick all over the freeway. So there's not enough. There's no way to cover up this loss. But while we have a moment, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on AM 570 LA Sports.
This is LA Clippers
I'll
basketball.
give you the thumbs up if I can, but if you have some of the post-game press conference.
We got Coach Lou audio coming for you in just a little bit. Daniel West is working on that, our producer here back in the bank. This is one of those times where I was okay not traveling with the team. I'm glad I was here because I'm glad I didn't have a live feed going, and you could see every hair follicle being pulled out after every bad shot in the fourth quarter and hero shot three-pointer when Ivica Zubac is right there. He's right there. Look up on the Jumbotron. I'm sure there's some digital box score that shows there's a guy that looks unstoppable in this game. He finished with a career high 35. He went 15 to 19 from the field. Is that enough if they can't stop him? No. Keep feeding him. Speaking of lipstick and pigs, Doc Rivers used to say, his saying of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, was feed the pig. Just keep going. They never adjusted. They got him the ball some in the fourth, and he might have gone 5 of 7. But there were times he had Devin Booker sealed and James Harden settled for a three-pointer on the left wing. I'm sure the video clip's going around, and it's mind-boggling to me. It's baffling. The process was awful. Do you know how many things have to go wrong for you to blow a 23-point lead in the second half? For you to be dominating in that fashion against a team that had given up on the season? That was lifeless? The Zombie Suns. They just lost to the Zombie Suns. The Walking Dead. I thought they wanted to be on a beach in Cancun the way they were playing defense. They couldn't care less about playing for one another. They just gave them their best victory of the season now. And they gave it to them with poor defense, not being able to defend without fouling, and poor offensive process in the fourth. And look at the tape of the Clippers team in the second quarter. Moving the basketball. Everything's assisted. Everyone's touching the basketball. Gives energy. They played with pace. What did Kawhi say last postgame? We got to move the ball more and play with more pace. That second quarter, they went 17 of 22 from the field. It is one of the best quarters of the season. For them to fall apart in that same game, a half hour later, it is inexplicable, inexcusable. This is one of the worst losses I've ever witnessed since I've been with this organization. They needed it. I thought both teams would be desperate to start the game. The Suns weren't. The Clippers were. They let him up off the mat. The Suns didn't want it. They let him hit a couple of shots. The Suns started to feel good. Now they're setting their defense. And the Clippers offense turned into one pass at most. Let's hear from Coach Lou post game. I need to shut up before It's safe harbor hours. I can swear now, right? Okay, Coach Lou.
How do you overcome the mental and physical toll of those?
Just play through the game. Play the game the right way. Play through the game. Whatever works, whatever the defense gives you, take it. And not force, not do dumb shit. It's that simple. Just
I
play
told
through
you
the
you could
game.
swear
That's all
now.
you got to do.
Is not talking to the team after a game, is that a standard practice that you
I
do?
never talked after the game.
Kind of in the first half, in the second quarter specifically, when you guys were flowing, what did you see? Did you see more pace out of offensive side?
Pace, ball movement, attacking the right matchups, making the right pass, making the right play. Simple game if you play it the right way.
What you're hearing in the background there may be a little bit distracting, but that's the alarm because the Clippers just blew a 23-point lead.
Yeah, same thing. Same team having beat 3 times. This the 4th time up double digits and lose the game. Like same thing. Katie and Book plays the whole second half, whatever. They come down, they make shots early in that quarter. We turn the ball over, lose ball in the backcourt. We can't get it. Flare 3, come back, turnover, done. 5 points in 30 seconds. And then now you got a game because they feel comfortable. But just for us, you can't give up 43 points in the 4th quarter. We know that. But just my biggest thing, just playing through the game. And when the game, they're going to make a run because they're a good team. But just play through the adversity, play the right way, and the game will take care of itself.
So I know a season has ebbs and flows. To you, is this the lowest point it's been?
As far as what? This game, or you mean just a stretch?
Just a stretch.
No, I mean, we got guys in and out of the lineup, and so that's that's gonna happen. We play some pretty good teams, but this one, you just can't get this game away. It's the same thing. The blueprint's the same way. All 4 games, up double figures, up big, and they come back, storm back in the 4th quarter, and make a game of it.
Coach, I know you were talking about Katie and Book played the whole 4th quarter, but the rookie Gillespie was really effective tonight.
He was huge, yeah. Came in, I thought his pace was really good. He got into the paint, made a couple of shots, and then he made a big 3, at the end of the game. But I thought he came in, did a good job, aggressive, picking up the floor, being aggressive defensively.
You mentioned you guys have been in and out. How challenging is it for a game like this to find bench groups that can be effective? Obviously, the bench minutes were struggling there.
I thought we had a good flow in that first half. The bench, really came in, did a good job in that second quarter. And then, they got aggressive in that 3rd quarter. Early 4th quarter. Like I said, we turned the ball over. They was able to push, get out in transition. We didn't score the basketball, so they kind of gave them some life.
And then you said the other night that obviously the schedule's not getting any easier. Want guys being a little bit worn down, you kind of got to push through it. But is there any thought beyond Kawhi of guys being limited or out tomorrow on the second night of back-to-back?
Well, Kawhi be out for sure. I don't know about everybody else yet.
How do you get them back on track to where this stretch just doesn't mentally take a toll?
Like I said, we got to be the harder playing team, which I thought we were for 3 quarters, and just got to do stuff the right way, To me, like I said, if we don't, do things right, we know what the hell we need to do. If we don't do things right, then it's going to be games like this, and so give them credit. They came back, they kept fighting, they kept competing. There was times they were ready to give in as well, and so we just didn't do that. Able to capitalize on that and put them away, but we've had some good spurts, some good moments, but we haven't put a full game together in a long time.
But when you do tell them over and over to kind of play the right way, play through the tape, all this stuff, and they consistently don't do it. I know you say, you don't get frustrated or anything, but is there a point?
I'm frustrated now. So what about that? Yeah, I'm frustrated now, but it is what it is.
Understandably frustrated there. Coach Lou post-game after the Clippers blow a 23-point lead in Phoenix to the Suns. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back. We'll hear from Chuck Mockler. Just a completely inexcusable and costly loss as the Clippers drop down to the 9th spot in the Western Conference and are dangerously close to falling out of the play-in. A month and a half ago, we were talking about, can they be a top 4 seed in the West? Now we're talking about, can they just finish top 10? Unreal. More Clippers talk next here on AM 570 LA Sports.
Enjoy life.
But when disaster strikes, it takes all of us to come together and make it home again.
Your Southern California Ford dealers are helping first responders with donations and support to the LA Fire Department and California Community Wildfire Recovery.
If your vehicles were damaged by the recent Los Angeles area fires, the Southern California Ford dealers are offering you employee pricing.
It takes all of us to turn heartache into hope and make it home again.
LA Strong, built Ford proud.
This is an invitation to travel to a place of breathtaking beauty. From crystal clear waters to volcanic trails, each setting has a story to tell. While the places are incredible, the true power of Hawaii lies in the people of Hawaii. Their care for the land, their love for their culture, and the aloha spirit they share make this special place like nowhere else in the world. Plan your next unforgettable journey at gohawaii.com/thepeople-the-place.
Chick-fil-A SoCal is proud to be the official chicken
Yo.
sandwich.
You're up 23 against a team that was 4-12 their last 16 games, is looking towards the offseason with reports of them trading their top guy, and you blow a 23-point lead to that team. That's what the Clippers just did, losing in Phoenix to KD and the Suns, 119-117. Welcome back in. I'm Adam Osland. This is Clippers Talk. Join the show right now because he knew it was going to be a loss. He said he was going to come on the show earlier today. He was like, I hope this doesn't, bode poorly for us. But Charles, where did this go wrong in your mind? How did this happen?
I don't know. I don't know how it happened. Where it goes wrong, one of the things that got me the most upset, and you alluded to it, was the hero ball in the fourth quarter. We had Kawhi and Harden go 2 for 9 in that frame. And I know we all loved the dunk from Kawhi. What was that, the second quarter, when things were just rolling and it was great. The energy was great to begin with, and then it just stopped. And I know Zoo had 35.
They were playing through them and stuff like that, but it just didn't work. They were tired. I don't know. It's endemic at this feels like.
They won Zoo's minutes by 22 points when he was on the court. How on earth do you lose that game? It's so shocking. It is. And I still felt like in the fourth quarter, you mentioned the hero ball. Zoo's got Booker on him. You got the switch you wanted. Maybe dump it into him at that point. I don't know. Let him get 40. If they can't stop it, then he gets 40. That's how it works if somebody's cooking like that. But it doesn't with Big Zoo, ever.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Let him get 40. We watched Drew Eubanks come in, and I understand that plus minus is not an individual stat. It is difficult to play 11 games and go minus 24, or 11 minutes and go minus 24. That is difficult. That is so bad. That was not ideal. We also saw, and I know we were down 2 very key guys. I understand that. part of me is probably going to remember that tomorrow, feel somewhat better. I'm still going to feel terrible.
Don't you dare remember that and feel better, Chuck. Don't you dare remember that and feel better.
That's fair. But we saw, and we've seen this happen before. I love Chris Dunn's defense. I love it a lot.
Ooh.
Teams are fine with him taking threes. He took the third most threes tonight.
And again, in the fourth quarter, he's wide open.
He's wide open. He should have swung that other one to Zoo. I love Chris Dunn's defense, but this is what happens when a team that has so many specialized parts around it for two or one specific guys. When one of those guys is out, the system breaks down because it's not built to withstand absences like we have in terms of how important guys are, right? Like, it's so frustrating. And they can't do anything but try and win if you're the owner, if you're Steve Ballmer. But there needs to be, if there's a trade out there to make things a little easier in this transition period after the season, I hope they explore it. Because next year, if you look at the contracts, it's shaping up to be exactly the same as this year, personnel-wise.
What I keep thinking about, what I keep thinking about, Charles, is how a month and a half ago, we are legit talking about if they can be a top 4 seed in the West. You get Kawhi back, match them with this defense. All you need is a better offense. You have a top 10 offense and a defense. You're one of the best teams in the league. And now we're here. They're 9th in the West. This is, no one could have foreseen this.
9th in the West is crazy. I know we kind of talked about before the season over on Clips and Dip. We talked, hey, let's be a high play-in team. Let's be 6th. 12 hours ago, we would have all we were feeling pretty good, and now we're watching a team. We're watching fatigue, and they brought Nico back, and everyone was very excited because Nico was great on the Clippers a couple seasons ago. We're seeing what fatigue and what Miles can do to someone like Nico. I'm not knocking Nick Batum. He's wonderful, but he is not what he was 2 years ago for the Clippers. I think maybe we thought it would be similar to that, but that is not there.
It's not like he's even been playing that much, though. He's probably the least of my worries.
But that's what I mean. That's indicative, right, of the roster, you know? Like, it just – Harden was – it was the hero ball stuff, and I know 2 for 9 from 3 is brutal. I didn't realize it was 2 for 9 until I looked at the box score. I knew we weren't shooting well, but 26% from 3 is brutal. We just lost the game where Bogey made 3 threes. That's the game you got to win if you've seen how Bogey and this team has played since the trade deadline. Like, it leaves a bad taste in the mouth, and it's completely fair. And tomorrow we might get run out of the gym too. I don't know.
Bogey had all 13 of his points in the first half. He had 13 in the first half. Zubac had 15. I think Bogey took 1 shot in the second half, and he played 37 minutes. You talk about stagnant offense and what happened to the ball movement. Are you in agreement that in the second quarter, the Clippers look like a damn well-oiled machine? Like, this is it. This is what we need. This is how we need them to play. And then they completely went away from it.
Yes, they were feeding off of the combination of the Suns not caring until the fourth quarter. And I tweeted this out on the Clippers pod account. I said, does this game say more about the Clippers or the Suns? A lot of people said it said more about the Suns because it showed how bad their defense was, yada, yada. That was before they came back. And now it went, oh, right. This is what the Clippers look like, down rotation guys against a team that decides to lock in and has better top-end talent.
Coach Lou said post-game, they look like a team that was willing to give in. I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but he said something to the effect, it looked like they were ready to give in, and we couldn't put them away. That's so wild to me. A team that couldn't have more of a foot out, that they got a groin out the door. Like,
a groin out the door. And there's only one of those. This is also the same Clippers team that couldn't put away a Bucks team that had Giannis sitting for the last half of the fourth quarter. That Ty Lue presser was I haven't heard a presser like that since the I don't know what our identity presser is. And that was at least before the trade deadline, so they could make some moves. Now, I'm a little worried about the locker room. That wasn't really an issue before. Now, when things get tough, obviously that's when, the locker room gets a little more tested. And listen, I'm not some of these people in the chat who are going to call in and say, let's fire everybody today or anything like that. We got to deal with this for another year because they're not going to go all in next year.
The only hope I have, or the only possibility with them going all in, is if Atlanta wants to trade Trae Young this summer before he puts pressure on them to one out. That's the one guy that could be attainable. But yeah, I agree with you. This is, for the most part, the most likely roster we're looking at, again, with more of an emphasis in the youth movement maybe next season. But I don't want to think about next season. There's 21 games left. How did we get here? All right, Charles, thanks so much for doing this, waiting patiently to help me out and pick me up here on Clippers Talk Postgame after their worst loss in what loss honestly is worse than this? Yeah. Well, at this point, it's like you might get used to these if they keep happening. This might be the tipping point loss, but the Lakers loss last season where they blew a 21-point lead was egregious, but it didn't have the ramifications of this loss.
No.
I don't know.
I don't know. I can't think about other losses because this is the only one we're all going to think about for a while.
Yeah. Blinded by the loss.
100%.
Okay. Charles, thanks so much for doing this. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you. Here's to a full episode on Thursday.
Let's go. Clips and dip on Thursday for you guys. Hopefully after a bounce back tomorrow. Quick timeout here on AM 570 LA Sports. Clippers blow a 23-point lead in Phoenix to the Suns. They lose 119-117. Coach Lou brought up the very start of the fourth quarter, a 5-0 run by the Suns, which was pretty detrimental. The KD 3, then the KD steal on Batum and layup. That got them right back into it real quick. More Clippers talk next year on AM 570 LA Sports. All right, I'll tell you what I'm not thinking about right now. Why can't Kobe Brown get minutes? Look, he might tomorrow against Detroit. But if the reason you lost a 23-point lead is because they didn't play Kobe Brown, then yeah, the season's over. Now someone's saying they're missing Paul George. Well, this is a first. Okay, guys. Guys. That is a hot take.
Join today at clippers.com/season-tickets.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friends
Guys, reaching for this whole, I don't know about some of these substitutions and stuff. They blew a 23-point lead. You can talk about Coach Lou and adjustments and substitutions. They're the same substitutions that got him up 23. Play the right way. Move the damn ball.
Play your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort.
Get it to Zoo. I don't give a damn that he has a 35-point game. Don't tell me, what do you mean, Adam? He had 35. They got it to him. It looked like he could have gone for 50. They couldn't stop him. You can't score. He's your only source. Keep feeding him. Make them adjust.
Play your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino, official partner of the LA Clippers.
Clippers blow a 23-point lead. Lose 119-117 in Phoenix to the Suns. Perfectly calm, dude. Let's get to a phone call. Demetrius in Manhattan Beach, who is an eternal optimist, Demetrius, how are you feeling after this one? You got 30 seconds. I'm sorry, my friend.
Well, 5 seconds going to be a morning sound. I would say this, Adam. This is what I took away from the game tonight. It's going to, like I told you, we need the whole core, the whole group. We're not built for these type of games, especially coming back.
They're not built to
Phoenix.
hold on to a 23-point lead. They're not built for that.
Well, I will say this, Adam, that, and I'm going to give you some really good pointers here so you can wrap it up. The only good thing that I can take away from the game, as bad as I feel like we need pallbearers tonight to finish this season off, I will take some good notes leaving off. I think Ty Lue is going to be up to Ty Lue now to put a very good rotation together. You got Zubac averaging almost 25 to 26 in his last 6 games, okay? You got Norman Powell coming back. You got James Harden, and you got Kawhi. So you got your 4 scorers you need to move forward. Again, it's going to take a whole team effort to do what we need to do. It's the devastating loss.
Yeah.
But I just thought I heard, you speaking tonight, missing, and I had to take something good from it. And the good thing that I have is that the Clippers can have 4 scores in the next 22 games that will double figures. We got to limit the turnovers. And Ty Lue, listen, we got to put pressure on the upper management and Ty Lue. I mean, I know we're giving him a break, and he's saying you got to play the right way, but he's been saying that, I love Ty Lue. He's got to come up with a game plan down the stretch, Adam. We got to stop letting, we got to stop letting them off the hook.
Look, there have been times where I've been critical of Ty Lue, Demetrius. I totally understand that. The overplaying of Marcus Morris towards the end of his run. But it's the same Ty Lue that got him up 23 points. I don't know.
But again, we played flawless. I love the pace in the second quarter. I think where we lost the game in the last 2 minutes in the third quarter, we broke down there. Again,
Demetrius,
Kawhi Leonard only took 3 shots in the fourth quarter. So, and Bogey didn't take any shots. So, James Harden took some ill-advised shots.
I was wondering how many shots Kawhi took in the fourth. You're telling me it was 3? I'm going to double check on that during the break, but I believe you.
I think 3. Yeah, I think 3 shots of not. I mean, it looked like a ghost out there. And
all right,
Zubac,
Demetrius, I got to take a timeout, my friend. I'm sorry. I'll put you back on hold. Maybe we can get you in Clippers talk after dark if you keep holding. Quick timeout. Clippers blow a 23-point lead. I was looking for that number. How many shots did Kawhi take? Didn't seem nearly as aggressive then. Clippers blow a 23-point lead and lose 117 to 119 to the Phoenix Suns, who swept them. More Clippers talk next here on AM 570 LA Sports. Anybody got that Kawhi Leonard fourth quarter number? I'm about to have it in 2 seconds here. Took 15. Nah, he took 5 shots in the fourth quarter. That's fine. 5 shots is fine. All right. James Harden took 4. Were any of them great shots? I mean, there's a possession where Kawhi's just dribbling on the left wing and throws the grenade to James Harden on the right wing at the end of the shot clock for a tough 3. Like, I don't blame James for that. Like, they did nothing. They just, honestly, they look like, what's the phrase in soccer? Parking the bus, sitting on a lead.
Yeah.
They didn't play to win. They played to hold on, to survive.
So get your tickets to see all the action at LA's sickest new arena. It all starts with buying verified tickets at Ticketmaster.
The ball movement for the most part was atrocious. If you're only going to make 1 pass per possession, it better be to Ivica Zubac.
Every highlight in person, from seeing your favorite Clippers up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood.
I'm beyond
Ticketmaster, because there's no better brag than saying you
sick of seeing Big Zoo getting frozen out. Even though, let me see how many shots Big Zoo got, because he did get a lot. He ended up with 10 points in the fourth. Great. He ended up, let's see, 12 of 13. So he got
for records and things like that.
3
If you went to a
of
40-minute game with the issues around load management, and the rest of
5.
it would be the
So
equivalent
Ivica Zubac goes 3 of 5
15 games off the
for
season.
10 points because he sunk his free throws for the most part in the fourth.
Right here on LA's home of the world champion.
It's not enough. You can't stop him. Clippers lose in horrific fashion to a Phoenix Suns team. It looked like they had travel plans to Cancun. They looked like they were ready to give in, and then the Clippers gave the game to them. They blew a 23-point lead. I don't know how, but they got to bounce back tomorrow against the Pistons at home. We went from a game where we're like, hey, I don't even want to see James Harden in this fourth quarter. They're up big. He shouldn't have to play. Save him for tomorrow because they're not going to have Kawhi for that game. To needing him to play 38 minutes in a loss. He did have 15 assists to 1 turnover. That's insane. But poor offensive process in the second half, and particularly down the stretch in the fourth. Clippers blow a 23-point lead. Fall to the 9th spot in the West. Before we get out of here, I do want to thank the Clippers organization, Ralph Lawler, Brian Seaman, Noah Eagle, Carlo Jimenez on the call. Big brother Jake Warner, we'll see you tomorrow. Daniel West, our producer, back here in the bank. Thank you, Daniel. Till tomorrow with the pregame show starting at 6:30. Clippers and Pistons. Clippers back it into a dome. They need some home cooking in the worst way. I'm Adam Osmond. We'll talk to you then. Yes, Clippers Talk After Dark on the YouTube side at Clippers Talk is next.
Has been Clippers.
I ain't going nowhere.
Clippers Audio Network.
I ain't going nowhere. We got more post-game audio. Jose, hold on. Ryan, hold on. I'll get to you, okay?
This concludes our game coverage. We now return you to our regular program.
We got more calls to blow out. I don't like having to keep doing this after miserable losses. Clippers Talk After Dark. As feels like the season, things are getting a little bit dark. The walls are closing in. This is disgusting. I can't believe the Clippers blew that game. Babe, wake up. Clippers Talk After Dark is on. This also means when we take calls, you can say whatever the hell you want on Clippers Talk After Dark tonight, guys. If you want to call in right now, you can say anything you want. I mean, I may pod you down if it gets really nasty, but I'll screen your calls right now. Give us about 10 minutes. We'll start Clippers Talk After Dark. Mike, hold on. We'll get to you. You see how it works? Because I'm not done. Jonathan Ing, I mean, he doesn't want to moderate tonight. It's gotten out of control in the chat, but I don't blame anyone for just about anything you say tonight. This is the worst things have been. We've never been lower than this season. This feels like the end. I mean, they got to take on a good Pistons team they already lost to. They're not going to have Kawhi. They're not going to have Norm. They're maybe going to have DJ. Probably not going to have Ben Simmons.
You realize you have to take advantage of your best player. You can't keep calling in your best player.
Uh-oh, somebody's calling in.
He's a football player.
Clippers Talk After Dark. What's your name? Where are you calling from? It's Adam in Rosemead? Adam from Rosemead. Hold on. No. See, this is a Suns fan who's a friend of mine who's coming in here to gloat. I am disgusted. Like, blowing a 23-point lead is crazy. They blew a 21-point lead to the Suns already. They blew a 9-point lead with 3.5 minutes left. The first game of the season, the first game ever at Into a Dome. So for them to do this tonight against this Suns team that was deep fried, they looked so cooked. Is this going to be the team that comes back on them and ends up knocking them out of the play-in? Clippers stock. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Julio from where? Hold on, Julio. Rosemead. I got to write this stuff down, guys.
Yeah. What lines? I got you real quick.
Oh, 4 is Adam and Rosemead. 5 is William. Wait. Julio and Wilmington. I guess the Suns do own us this year.
And then line 5 is who? Julio?
Julio and Wilmington.
All right, there you go. I won't take long here to upload.
Just the shots we settled for in the fourth quarter. The threes. The missed threes over and over again. Did James Harden take anything but a 3 in his 4 shots in the fourth? I need to see this. I'm checking the game log now. Let's see here. Substitution. Clippers up 8 at the 8:28 mark. In comes James Harden for Amir Coffey. He shouldn't have even had to play the fourth quarter. James Harden, missed 3-pointer. James Harden did make a jumper. I think that was his one make. Then we have Harden missed 3-pointer. Harden missed 3-pointer. So he goes 1 for 4 with a 14-foot jump shot being the one he makes. And 3, one of them was not his fault. I think he had to take it. It was at the end of the shot clock. It was a grenade thrown to him by Kawhi, who was just dribbling on the left wing, and then threw it back to the right wing to James Harden. He had to take that shot. 2 of them, though. Well, wait. One of them, he was fouled on, though. So that didn't count as a shot attempt. I'm flustered, man. I can't believe in a must-win situation, you're playing great basketball. You're up by 23 against a team that is ready to roll over. Roll over. And this happens? That is almost an impossible game to lose. Almost. A game where Ivica Zubac plays 37-plus minutes, just over 37 minutes, and is a plus 22. How could you lose that game? How could you get shellacked by that? Ivica Zubac, okay, he played 36 minutes and 44 seconds. And they lost the 11 minutes without him by 24 points. That's impossible. And yeah, those were the Drew Eubanks minutes. They staggered them. When one was out, the other guy was in. I don't feel like Drew Eubanks played that bad to be a minus 24. Jose, hold on. I'll be hanging up. I'll get to you. Oh, Renee says, I called it last night. We were losing. Toby said it's the players. Kawhi looked so good in the first half. I thought he looked good at times in the third, too. It's not that, he had a 20-point first half or anything, but the movement looked great. I thought there was more pop out there. The dunk he had on Nick Richards. He had 3 dunks in the game, I want to say. He had, 8 points in the third quarter. He looked good. He's 8 of 15. But he wasn't hitting threes, just 1 of 6 from there. James Harden, though, ends up 2 of 9 from 3. So those two go 3 of 15. Guys, the last 3 games going back to Friday against the Lakers, I'm going to give you a number. And it will be James Harden's shooting splits or his field goal makes and attempts over the last 3 games. He ended up, so he made 5 in this one. He ended up, I believe, 14 of 40. 14 for his last 40 shots. I'm sorry, 14 for his last 50 shots. Harden has shot 28% on 50 shots his last 3 games. 14 of 50. That is a hellish shooting slump. 14 of 50. What ain't a country I ever heard of? 14 of 50. Thing is, I don't think this is about the trade at all. This is about no Norman Powell, at least before tonight. Some of these games, you could say that. A 23-point loss is just absolutely taking your foot off the gas and never being able to find the pedal again. You let up. You thought you had won the game. You gave the other team life, and they stormed back on you, and you had no answer once they turned it on. $14 of 50. I'm not putting it all on James, but he has been in a deep funk on high volume the last 3 games. Pretty high volume. Bogey, meanwhile, I think he took 1 shot in the second half. At the half, Bogey has 13 points on 5 of 6 shooting. He finishes with 13 points on 5 of 7 shooting. He took 1 shot in the second half while playing heavy minutes. Some of that is because Ivica Zubac was being featured more, but guys, it's not like Ivica Zubac got 25 shots, okay? He got 18, and he made 15 of them. You can afford to have him get 5 more, but they won't do it. They haven't done it. They refuse to do it. I don't know what it's going to take. I'm giving up. I'm giving up on Ivica Zubac ever being featured the way he should be. In a game where he looked unstoppable. And they still wouldn't spam it. They still wouldn't go to him enough. It is inconceivable how this could happen. You want to say I'm getting greedy? I'm telling you, Ivica Zubac is like that. He easily could have got 40 tonight, 40 plus, easily. If it was anybody else that hot and that unstoppable, they would have got more shots up. But because it's Ivica Zubac, I got 18 shots in my box score. Whether it's 18 or 19, I don't give a damn. If it's anybody else, okay, I got 19 on a different one. So we'll go with that. If it's anybody else, they're getting 20 plus shots up. Anybody else. Nick Richards wanted no part of him. Big Plum wanted no part of him. This is such a ridiculous comment. They won the Ivica's. Let me tell you how plus minus works. My guy, Adam, please stay with me here. Let me tell you how plus minus works. When Big Zoo is a plus 22 in his 37 minutes out there, that means while he was on the court, the Clippers outscored the Phoenix Suns by 22 points. And you're saying it's hard to feature him without the team losing? They outscored the Suns when Ivica Zubac was on the floor by 22 points. And you're saying that guy's not a winning player? Adam, from one Adam to another, we got to be better than this. Please. He's not Vucevic in Orlando. He is the best rim protector in the league. This is why Ivica Zubac gets. This is why it happens. Maybe, I don't know. The perception is insane. He is not Vucevic. No particular said Zoo getting below 20 shots tonight is inexcusable. It probably should have been 25. Yeah. This broke the Adam Alliance. You're right. Nick Ramos has got some zingers. He's got some good stuff tonight. He has been a top 5 rim protector within 6 feet of the rim the last 6 years. And last season, go look at the analytics. They shot their worst percentage at the rim against Ivica Zubac. Yes, best rim protector in the league. How many times do we have to talk about this? Oh my God, Adam, then why didn't we win? Maybe because they got outscored by 24 points in the 11 minutes that Ivica Zubac was off the floor. Maybe that's why. Because they got outscored by 24 in the 11 minutes that Ivica Zubac was off the floor. I guess they didn't win because he couldn't play all 48 minutes. Blame him. My God. Am I being trolled? Is that what this is? I hope so. This is a great comment. World D. Lee said, not going to Zoo down the stretch is like playing your worst defenders to close games. I want to take a quick time out to go to the bathroom. When I get back, we're going to phone calls. I've had enough. Back in 1 minute, okay? And I will wash my hands. Just because I'm really fast doesn't mean I can't wash my hands. Back in 1 minute. I need a timeout after what Adam just said. Hands are washed. We're good. We're going to get to your phone calls. Producer Daniel's wrapping up his side of things. Thanks to Daniel West.
What's up?
I'd ask you what the standings are, but I think I already know.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
I don't know if we could do the standing segment anymore. It's getting ugly. That's a negative segment now. The Clippers are careening down the standings. The bottom has fallen out. The floor has disappeared beneath them. It was a trap door all along. I can't believe. I can't. I said on the broadcast, the Suns have confidence against the Clippers multiple times. They have confidence in coming back on the Clippers. I could play that clip for you. We said it on the broadcast. They have to be aware of this. I kept tweeting, do not let up. Do not let up. I'm going to find one of those tweets right now. Why didn't they listen?
Yeah. Is it bad that when they entered and it was 20, I just in the back of my mind was like, ooh, I don't know if that's enough. Ooh.
No.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know.
It's understandable. this Clippers team, we've been talking about it for a couple of weeks now. They've made a bad habit of giving up leads. Since that Bucks game where they were up 13 and Giannis doesn't play the second half of the fourth quarter, since then, I've had real questions about their killer instinct and ability to close out games. They don't have it. They have built bad habits, you could say. And they came back to haunt them.
All right, all yours, Adam.
I'm going to repost Harden 3 now. Clippers up 23. Good times. Because you guys know I do the play-by-play on the Twitter thingy, X, whatever the hell you want to call it at this point. I'm so frazzled and discombobulated after this game. This is so gross. I'm not defeated. I'm frustrated, though. All right, I'm going to swing around to the other side.
Alrighty.
Hold on a second, guys. Not going anywhere. Daniel, thank you for your help. We blew it up on camera, I think.
Hang in there.
Oh, I'm hanging in here all right.
See you later.
Thank you. We'll talk to you down the line tomorrow. Daniel's the man. Dan the man. It's great to have him on board here. We're lucky to have him. And I kept saying, I'm going to get the soundboard going here, guys. So that's why I'm swinging this whole operation around. And we're going to take your phone calls. 866-987-2570. This is Clippers Talk After Dark. The post-game show does not stop. Not after miserable, horrible, no good, bad losses. What was that? The no good, bad day. What was that book you read as a kid? So I'm going to plug this in. We're going to get some better sound. And we're going to hear from some post-game audio too, but we're going to get to the calls because people have been holding. If you guys call in. Sorry, I think I was talking to myself there for a second. I'm reading some of my tweets here. So I said earlier, the Suns have come back on the Clippers twice this year. Can't happen again. Yes, it can, Adam. Yes, it can. But I also had tweets about they have to know this. This is not over. All right. We're going to take a phone call. 866-987-2570. Do you guys have the sound coming through okay now? It should be, because we're going to listen to post-game audio coming up. 200 people in here. I appreciate you guys. This is Clippers Talk After Dark. You can say whatever you want on the phone lines now. Let's start with Eli and Whittier, who just called in a second ago. Eli, you're on with Adam Moslin after the Clippers blew a 23-point lead in Phoenix to the Suns. How are you?
Oh, man, not good at all. This one's making me a little sick, not gonna lie. But either way, oh, man, I need some, encouragement or something because this is so bad. And I don't know, the biggest frustration for me was James personally. But,
tell me about James Harden and how you're feeling right now, because I thought he took some ill-advised shots in the fourth.
Exactly. Like you guys said, hero ball. Oh my God, it killed me. And it's like Bogdanovich, he was doing so good in the first game that we needed him to. And all in the loss when James was just chucking up threes and he missed his free throws as well, which we should be better by now. And I'm trying to find the positives here. Zoo did awesome, but like you said, not good enough.
Well, I thought he was good enough. I thought he could have been even better had they featured him even more.
Exactly.
I got you. Yeah, it's like, I don't want to hear, what do you mean? He had 35. He got 18 or 19 shots up, whatever it was. If they can't stop him, keep going there. There's no need to throw up hero ball shots. They kept going for kill shots. They said, we're not going to do the hard work. We're not going to pass the ball. We're not going to swing it around. We're just going to hope a couple of threes fall, and that puts away this Suns rally. That's what it looked like to me.
Exactly. Yeah, like that's the best way to put it. They got, or I should say, some players specifically got lazy, and like you said, they put their foot off the pedal. And I don't know what's to come after this loss, because it's another game right after, and James is not known for getting better on back-to-backs. I don't know if he's going to be even more gassed, and we're going to have to rely on someone else or something, but it's looking pretty grim. And I hate that our record is the same as the Kings. That makes me wince.
Oh, I thought Sacramento was going to pack it in this season, and now they're playing much better ball, much better than the Clippers.
Yeah, I hate to see it.
All right, my friend. Eli, I think this was your first call here on Clippers Talk. Is that right?
I think I might have called in before, but either way, thanks for your help, and I might get some better rest after this closure.
Sleep easy. Yeah, I honestly think it might be a good thing that they have a game tomorrow, and they can somehow, if they can win that game, it gets this bad taste out of your mouth. Like, I honestly think they should be hungry for another game after a loss like this. We'll see.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
All right, Eli. Hope to hear from you tomorrow. Be good, my friend.
Thanks, you too. Have a good night.
Let's go to Mike in LA, because I think he's been on hold the longest. Mike, you're on Clippers Talk with Adam Awesome.
Yeah. Thanks, Adam. Yeah, this is just, I mean, I've been a Clippers fan for over, 30 years, and this is one of the worst
Wow.
times.
That's saying something.
This is just, the problem is that we just where does the franchise go? We have, no draft picks for the next, 5. We have, we're going to be picking 30 every other year for the next, however, 5 years, and then not having a pick every other year for, that period, a first round pick.
I don't want to look too far into the future tonight. I'd rather focus on this horrible loss, but I do know what you're saying. I'll say this though.
It's just the context. It's the context.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, Mike, they do have a plan. They're going to have $70 million at worst of cap room the summer of 2026. And then the year after.
But
yeah.
But for somebody like me, also the consecutive over 500 streak means a lot. We haven't won a championship, and I would trade that for a championship in a second. But seeing what I've seen with this organization over the years, having 13 years of being over 500 in a row really actually does mean a lot. And this year I'm concerned that that may break. Now I wasn't until after tonight. Now I'm concerned.
Well, they are still 3 games over 500. They still have 21 games left. There's a really good chance that they're still going to be over 500 and bring it to 14 straight years. But no, I think it is meaningful. I know Lakers fans would be like, yeah, hang the banner, blah, blah, blah. But you have to understand how far this franchise has come and how low things were. Like, this is a low point.
That's exactly it.
Right. This is a low point for this season. But in the context of since Steve Ballmer has been the owner, they're still a completely different franchise. This is not a team that you look at as, the type fans would be wearing paper bags at games at anymore. That type of thing.
No, not at all. We have this amazing new, arena, which, I've been to, games at the Intuit. There's no better place to watch a basketball game, in my opinion. And
agree.
I can't imagine a better place to watch a basketball game. It's amazing. We're clicking on all these other cylinders, and it's just the on the court product just needs to just tighten up. Needs to just, put it together.
Yeah. I just found one of my tweets from the third quarter. The Suns are truly bad, but you can't let up because they can still get hot. Yeah.
Well, you were right.
I don't want to be. I don't want to be, Mike. You got anything else?
No. I mean, that's really it. I just wanted to, call in and, express some frustration and,
You're a good one, Mike. I know you've been through a lot. You said 30 years, and you always call in no matter win or loss.
All right. Well, thank you, Adam. I appreciate you taking my call as always, and talk to you later, man.
Hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully after a victory, Mike.
Hopefully.
Thanks, my friend. And then I cut him off like an a-hole. I didn't mean it to end like that. I tried to get out clean. Mike, are you still there?
I'm still here. Don't worry about it.
Proper dismount.
Don't worry about it.
I
We're
love
all
you.
good.
Have a
We're
good
all
night.
Good. You too, man.
Ryan in Burbank. He's a longtime caller here on Clippers Talk. It's Clippers Talk After Dark. We may be off the air on AM 570, but after horrible, no good, downright bad losses like this, we got to keep going. Ryan, what's up?
This is rock bottom, right? This feels like rock bottom for the season. I think we're here. This is probably the worst loss of the season in terms of just all the factors.
I mean,
with it.
I hope the pile driver has been put down. I hope there's no pick they're using to dig deeper. I hope you're right.
Yeah. I Adam, what really sucks to me about it's not just this loss. It's the last, 6-7 games, right? I feel like the apex of this season so far was that second half against the Grizzlies, where that was right before Ben Simmons was going to be inserted. The whole starting lineup was healthy for the first time. Kawhi started to look a little bit more like Kawhi, even on a minutes restriction, and they beat a good team. Yes, they were on a back-to-back. They didn't have Morant, but they beat a good team. And they really looked good in that second half. We were like, dang, Clippers, okay. And, the next game, obviously, Kawhi doesn't play, but they beat the Jazz in OT with Simmons. And you're like, okay. And you're like, okay, this team will be healthy now entering the break and everything will be fine. And then Powell starts to get hurt. And we still haven't gotten a game where the entire starting lineup has played after the All-Star break for more than 9 minutes. We still haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's a great point. It's the classic Clippers issue, health. Not tonight. Not tonight. There's no excuse about that. You're up 23. I don't care they didn't have Norman Powell to close. You're up 23. But health has been an issue again. It's reared its ugly head, the lack of health.
Well, and Adam, too, if you look at the games they've lost effectively this entire road trip, right? Because they played 2 games in LA, but they're still roadies. But you're the Bucks game, the Pistons game, the 2 Lakers game is this. They're all by 6 points or less.
No, I think coming into this one, Ryan, there are 5 losses on this road trip coming into this one. We're by like a total of 24 points. So what? Now we're at 26 points total in 6 losses on this road trip. That's insane.
Yeah, no, it's brutal. And I mean, again, I know Norman Powell can't win Most Improved Player anymore, which is completely ridiculous because he is the most improved player in the NBA. But you look at his actual scoring, it's 24 points a game. That's what he averages. I mean, Kawhi might be the player that if everyone is healthy, he kind of takes the Clippers to the next level. But Norman Powell to me is the engine of this team. I mean, you just see it. It's like, Adam, I always look at basketball like a math problem. If Kawhi, Zoo, and Harden combine for some agglomeration of between 60 and 70 points, how do you get to 80, 90 where your bench isn't, we know the bench variance is always going to be there. And it's like, Powell just plays such an important role for this team, sadly. And his scoring, especially in those moments, because he's always been a third and fourth quarter player.
Well, and Ryan, it's because he filled some of the biggest needs, right? Their lack of shooting. And shooting is pretty damn important in the game of basketball. People always talk about traits and attributes, and they kind of make them like they're all equal. But no. Shooting and scoring, they're not all equal. That's a pretty important one.
No, and look at the game today, Adam. The Clippers shot 26% from three. You don't think that Norman Powell would have helped in this game? It playing at least whether he even played his full allotment of minutes or just 20, you can't tell me he wouldn't have had easily between 6 and 15 points at minimum. And it's just it's so hard to watch this team try to, and like you said, they're not doing the hard work at times, because when Powell is out, Zoo should be far more of a focal point at this point, because especially in a game like this where he's just eating Phoenix alive, just keep giving him the ball. But you're saying, they're not doing the hard work where Dunn is sadly being open for a reason. I love Chris Dunn as a defender. He's phenomenal, but he's being open for a reason, because they know that he can't shoot very well, and he's a very erratic shooter. And you're a game two where you're out, Derrick Jones Jr., he's low-key been the fourth or fifth best defender on the team. And so you're missing him too, and he can occasionally hit an open shot. I sadly...
All that I agree with, Ryan, but I'm not letting them off the hook for blowing this one because they were down guys.
No, and they shouldn't. No. They shouldn't be left off the hook. What I'm just trying to say is, though, when you're missing three of your I would argue 3 of your 6 best players, which is what the Clippers didn't have tonight, your margin for error is so low. It's so little at this point that every play is magnified. And especially in that fourth quarter, when you're up as big as you are, like you're saying, you need to get easy shots. You need to just get easy shots. And it's like running the ball in football. Just run the ball, no turnovers, easy shots, work the shot clock. But instead you saw 5 seconds, Chris Dunn launches a 3. 10 seconds, Harden launches a 3. Guys, this isn't winning basketball. You're up. Why are you acting like you're down? It's extremely frustrating. And it's not even that. At times too, throughout this losing streak, you could point to the defense hasn't even been that bad, but that defense in the fourth quarter was completely atrocious. I mean, it was awful, really, really bad. So I'm hoping, Adam, that tomorrow this team just, sadly, Harden has to play again. He's got to play on a back-to-back, and he's going to play however many minutes, and he's probably going to be toast a lot of those minutes. And you're not going to have Kawhi, and you're not going to have Simmons. I'm assuming Derek is going to play on his bobblehead night. I hope so. And then Powell's not going to be available for another, 10 days. So I'm knocking on wood, Adam. I really hope this team comes out tomorrow and plays tougher basketball, especially in the second half, against a good Pistons team. We'll see.
I agree with you. Great phone call, Ryan. As always, I got a number for you, Ryan. So the Clippers led by 23 with 14 minutes left. They made 6 field goals from that point on. Kevin Durant made 7 by himself. 6 field goals in the last 14 minutes for the Clippers. That's unbelievable. There goes Ryan in Burbank. Let's go to Adam in Rosemead. Adam's been waiting for a while. Adam, what's up?
Hey, how's it going, Adam? First time, long time. Just want to say, frustrating, just frustrating. It just feels like sometimes these guys have their foot on the gas and then they set it on cruise control. And normally what I see is once they get it, when the opposing team gets it within 10, I feel like panic mode becomes an issue. It feels like people are getting off their game. I agree with you. They got to start feeding Zoo the ball more. He's been doing great, good player. Another thing, Harden lately has just been kind of a little funky.
I'd say 14 of 50. 14 of 50 his last 3 games is pretty funky.
Big time. And I'm just like, I'm at the point, as great as his numbers are, can be, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm getting like the Westbrook effect at times. I'm like, I need the ball out of his hands. And sure enough, he's chucking up a 3. My thing is, this guy's waiting to the last second to make a shot or create a shot. And the ball movement needs to be there. I haven't been as long as the other guy. I've been a little over 20 years, a season ticket holder for like about 8 with me and my wife. And, it just hurts. It's like, when is it going to be our turn? We're so good. There's always good glimpses of what we can be. And it just seems to go the opposite way at the wrong time. But, thank you for letting me just vent a little bit. I appreciate all the hard work and all the abuse you have to take on the YouTube side. It's fun, and but thank you very much, man. And let's go Clippers tomorrow. Yeah, I know we're tough on this team, but we're all going to be back here again tomorrow, guys.
Adam, great phone call. I appreciate the positivity and the love here, my friend. Don't be a stranger, all right?
Never. Thank you, man. Have a good one. Adam R. signing out.
Jose in Downey. Jose, you're on Clippers Talk with Adam Oslin. Jose's a regular here. Jose, what do you got to say?
Adam, man, I don't know, man. It was discouraging, man.
Yeah,
it was.
that's a good word. That's a good
what you're
word.
saying.
Disheartening,
saying.
discouraging. Take your pick.
Yeah. I know we keep saying it was a 23-point lead, but I mean, I think the number that keeps standing out to me, it's 19-point lead with what, like 11 minutes left or 12 minutes left, right when it started in the fourth.
The end of the third quarter was pretty key, actually. What happened at the end of the third, because there was, I think, a 4-point swing at the end of the third, and then they scored 5 straight with a KD 3 and a steal and layup to start the fourth. Those were real momentum turning plays, right?
Yeah, and you know what? I love Tyloo. I don't really much of the time have anything negative to say about him. I see him out there trying different things, and but I would like to see some emotion. That non-emotion on the side, I know. Also, it's been a big part for us. You know, when the team wasn't playing well, and everybody was like, "Yeah, no, Ty keeps an even keel," and that is big. But sometimes, you know, foot to ass. Sometimes foot to ass. A little animation wouldn't have hurt. You know, somewhere in the middle of that run. But I mean, the other thing I do have to say, I know he has his rotations and certain times that players come in and come out. I would have loved to see him do something really early in the fourth and be like, screw this, the whole starting lineup goes back in, you know? And it sucks because I think I was looking at it like you were. Hey, we're going to maybe be able to get away with only playing these guys 31, 32 minutes, you know? And we're ready for tomorrow. Yeah, and now we're here, right? But those are some of the issues. But then I still can't put it all on him because at some point, as the players out there, you know what momentum feels like. You know what momentum looks like. I'm still up, whatever it is, 14, 15, 12. Put it in your fucking head. You know, take some you know, how would I say, just like want to stop them. Want to stop this
Step on their throats, right?
Yes.
Have some killer
exactly.
instinct. Be the wolf guy from Killer Instinct, the video game.
It's just that's where to me it's gonna fall on James Harden and Kawhi Leonard because you are our two leaders. You are our two leaders, you know, and even when it was somewhere in the 6-minute mark and we were still kind of holding like a 6-point lead, they did go to Zoo, but then they felt discouraged because I think he made 2. And then on the third time they went to him, he missed it right under the basket. Yes, I was really pissed too.
It was that left-handed hook that went in and out. He couldn't believe it either.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean you stop going to him.
Right.
Keep feeding them the damn ball, you know. And even in that run that they were making, guess what? You keep mustering. I mean, you know, mudding up the plays by giving it to Zoo, and they have to come in and collapse on him. And he gets another foul and he gets to shoot more free throws, it stops the run. It stops that energy, that excitement of, now I can turn around and play defense, you know, because now we're doing better. There's many ways to stop it. It's not
you're
always
right.
all production.
Feeding Big Zoo, Jose, puts the brakes on the game and the momentum swinging that quickly, that fast. Is that kind of?
Yeah.
I feel that.
Exactly
I understand it. It's a way to slow down the game. It's a way to punish your opponents. He was hitting his free throws. I think he went 5 of 6 or something. He made 2 clutch ones late. Like, there's really no downside, you know?
Yeah. I agree. I mean, and then the other thing too is some of the things that I'm seeing on Kawhi. I don't know if it's fatigue. I don't know if you notice it too. Sometimes later in games while he's still in there and we need a shot, and he gets to a spot. He gets to a spot somewhere 15 feet, 12 feet away, and he leaves it short. I sometimes feel it is fatigue, but then you can see it in him too, like, oh my God. And then he doesn't have that energy, the same energy. We still need you to do it, bro. We still need you to go out there and try it again, because guess what? Most of the time, no matter who's in front of you, they can't guard you right there. They can't.
Yeah.
They can't. But you can't give up on yourself either, because if you give up on yourself, then what message is that going to send out to everybody? You know, and there's been a lot of times in this last, I'm going to say even right before the break, I think you've said it before, where, yeah, win is not always a win, because you contextualize it like, damn, it could have been a little bit better. It was a little, win,
Well,
you know?
I thought I was
Even
going
though
to come on tonight, my friend Jose, as I throw John on hold. I thought I was going to come on tonight and be like, I'm glad they got it, but that was pretty bad process. I thought I was going to have to say, they pulled it out, but they really backed into this victory, and they have to be much better with the way they close out games. I thought at worst, that's where we were headed. Instead, now we're talking about a loss. Keep going though, Jose. You're cooking.
Yeah, and with Harden, again, he is playing a lot of minutes. It does look like he's fatigued at times near the end of this game, but I think a name that I don't know many people are going to know, not even myself, Gillespie. He really, really threw Harden off in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
He threw him off. There was a couple plays where all Gillespie did was, hey, I got the ball at the 3-point line. I know it's Harden guarding me. I'm going to drive in. Oh, Harden's still on me. I'm going to come back out and then just drive around him. And Harden let him. And Harden let him get around. And it's like, you are the savvy veteran, man. And you're slightly bigger. You know it's better. Make him take the shot instead of driving in and getting an easy layup, him running around you. And I think it's those things to see Kawhi and Harden get lit up by some of these no-name guys sometimes. I know you're in the NBA. You did something right? I'm not discrediting that. But I mean, I think he was a big difference in that fourth quarter for them, because he threw Harden off his game badly. And then you can tell he couldn't get to it in the offensive side too. So, I mean, show some grit. All that grit that they told us at the beginning of the year, and we're going to – I wouldn't say not playing hard, because they were playing hard out there. Obviously, look at how great it looked for 3 quarters, and then the fourth quarter happened.
I think it was partially fatigue, and fatigue makes you do things out of the ordinary, and you have mental mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
But they gave into it. That's how I feel, because they didn't, as you mentioned earlier. You hit 6 shots, 6 total field goals made the last 14 minutes of the ball game for the Clippers, because they refused to do the hard stuff. And I think Ivica Zubac had 3 of those, because he went 3 of 5 in the fourth quarter. Kawhi had 1. Harden had 1. Who had the other field goal out there?
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I couldn't even finish the game, because when the game became tied at 102 or 104, I was really frustrated, and I had to go run. I left to run, so I was just keeping up with the score, because I was just that frustrated, man. And you know what? I think to end on this side. Oh, well, let me ask you this before, Adam. Do you think there's a possibility that Ty Lue can't get them up? And no.
Oh, can't get them up?
Well, then that's good.
Like they're not responding to him?
Yeah.
Look, people have said this, and there have been multiple games recently where I felt like they didn't give in. This game they gave up, but you look at the Lakers game where they're down by 21, and they fought and they battled back, and they could have given up in that game. I think if they weren't responding to Coach Lue, that was a game they would have quit in, and that didn't happen.
Right.
So I'm not overly concerned about that.
Right. Okay, good. I think I'm just so upset that I can't really clearly think. That is a great point that you're bringing up, because that's just very recent. But again, for him, I really like him. I think in this fourth quarter, when you can see the
change started happening, if he would have made that substitution, all the starters, feed it to Zoo, and then really drive it like feed it to Zoo. That's one of the things I don't know. I don't know if he is driving that, like, hey, feed it to Zoo, and they're not. Because in the post-game show, he did sound a little bit frustrated about, like, you got to play ball the right way. And at some point, you might got to say, hey, James, you got to give Zubac the ball and not shoot the three. Although you want to have the killer shot and hopefully break the other team's spirit and back and that comeback, go for the easy shot, man. Go for the easy shot. Even if he gets fouled, he goes to the free throw line, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it mugs up the game. It really mugs up the game. It slows down the game. It can stop the momentum. Because teams that are getting that momentum, turning it their way, they're going to want to run. They want to be fast. They want to get the crowd excited. Slow basketball is not going to get the crowd excited, you know? So
I
it
thought
makes a big difference.
when Amir Coffey hit that three-pointer early in the fourth to put him up 11, that was going to be enough. But give the Suns some credit because they definitely could have quit. But this is about the Clippers blowing a game. That's what this is.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with you, Adam. They do. Suns deserve their credit, but this is more about the Clippers. Has been more about the Clippers for a couple games even before the All-Star break. This has been about them just at some point you got to look in the mirror and be like, we could change this shit because we know we can. They have to be the ones that do it. It can't be nobody else. But tomorrow I'll be at the game. I'm not gonna lie. I was just telling my nephew, I was like, oh my God, 26 years a fan, and this is the first time where they kind of have me up to the point where I wasn't feeling too good about watching the rest of the season anymore. I really am not, but hopefully it's just upset right now, man. Hopefully I'm just upset right now. And hopefully we get to see you tomorrow, man, with a good amount of Clipper fans that are going with us.
Hell yeah. Come say hi. We're pretty high up there, but if you see us, the whole media row, we're behind the TV cameras. Come up there and say hi. There's a little gate, but I'll come over and hopefully we can talk after a Clippers victory because they need it.
Well, I mean, I think if they just keep, their foot on their neck and just keep at least throwing out all that energy out there, something good will happen. And they won't get their ass kicked. I'll say that much.
It's just what's really disheartening to me is you're way too far into the season to blow a game like this, to have to learn this lesson. They shouldn't have to learn any lesson at this point about holding on. It's the team that's already come back on them, by the way. They should have already learned it.
Yeah.
All right. Jose?
Yeah. All right, man. Hey, see you. Hopefully we see you tomorrow, bro. We'll be there. There'll be like 5 of us.
Sounds good. Come up. Come say hi.
All right, man. You have a good one.
You too. John in Woodland Hills, who's been holding on and waiting patiently. We got lines open at 866-987-2570. Clippers Talk After Dark. We continue the conversation after a 23-point blown lead in Phoenix to the Suns by the Clippers. John, what's up? You're on Clippers Talk.
Yeah, this was predictable. I mean, the Suns were due for a win. 100%. It was on TNT, and they were due for a win. And James Harden, 5 of 14 from the field is not good enough, no matter what his assists were like. And it's just, when you don't have your best player, in my opinion, the UCLA grad is your best player. And unfortunately, Kawhi Leonard doesn't play 40 minutes. You need Kawhi Leonard to play 41 minutes tonight.
And Kawhi was taken out at one. John, this is a good point because Kawhi was taken out at one point in the fourth quarter to get a minute of rest, and then he came back in. So he ended up at 37 minutes. Last game he played 40. Was that because he was gassed? Was that because there still is some type of minutes restriction going on? I don't know, but I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, because unfortunately, they continue to think that they have so much of the season left, but the Clippers do not have the season left. They actually don't even have any fans left in the stands because everybody's in LA going for Luka L squared,
all they want to do is root for Luka. And Harden doesn't give a nothing about anything but his own brand. He only cares about himself. Did you notice in the last two Laker games, Harden wasn't there forever. He disappeared for both games because Harden is consumed by his beard. He's not actually invested in a win.
I think
no matter what.
I think he's tired, John. He's been invested in plenty of wins this season, and fatigue is a factor. But you're right; he still needs to be better. He's 14 for his last 50 from the field the last 3 games, and that is brutal.
Yeah, but don't you wonder why the Clippers aren't winning more games right now? Like, don't you think that after the All-Star break they should have gotten, that reprieve or that rejuvenation?
You brought up the UCLA grad missing, and that's a huge loss. Now tonight, I don't care about that because they were up by 23, and there's no excuse. But I do think that's a big reason why this losing streak has happened. No Norman Powell.
Well, don't you think it's pretty annoying that Petros and Money happen to make fun of the Clippers every single day, and you're the Clippers radio network? Like, shouldn't Petros and Money be praising the Lakers and having Tyronn Lue and Kawhi Leonard on the air each day as interviews? But why won't any Clipper go on the Petros and Money show, for an interview? Why won't they actually, serve the people? Why won't they?
It's kind of a chicken or the egg thing. I'm not sure. Do they dislike the Clippers because guys aren't coming on, or are guys not coming on because they hate on the Clippers so much? I can't answer that one. I'm sorry.
But it is a good question though, right? I mean, it is a question to be asked, I would think.
Sure. I'm surprised I haven't gotten it before now. So I just don't have an answer for you.
Can I ask you this before you go? Can I ask you this? How excited are you that Levine is a Sacramento King? I mean, that guy is awesome. That guy is fun to watch. Like if
honestly,
he's healthy,
I could
Zach
care.
Levine.
I could care less, John.
I thought you were a Sacramento Kings fan.
I grew up a Sacramento Kings fan, but that franchise, they've made so many bad moves, and I've been wrapped up with the Clippers. This is honestly what I care about.
But wait, but before you go, isn't it interesting that me and you grew up Sacramento Kings fans, and Vlade Divac blocked the reason why the Kings didn't get Luka Doncic, and now you are the mainstay, the announcer for the Clippers, and the Clippers killer Luka Doncic is now a Laker. If that's not irony, I don't know what is.
These are things that keep me up at night, John. Thanks for the reminder. It has crossed my mind. It is not lost on me. But I appreciate the phone call, and I know you called.
Well,
what up?
The Kings did just call up Scal LaBCA, who they drafted 7th in the draft about 7 years ago. So they just called him back up the other night. So
I couldn't tell you, honestly. I know they've been winning. I think they are like 7-4, their last 11 or something like that, because I thought they might have fallen off at some point, but they're doing just enough. And right now, they're in front of the Clippers in the standings, I think, or they're right next to them.
Yeah, but the Clippers are a sleeping giant because like they can be awful for like 3 weeks and then they could be the best team in the NBA for a month,
Well, that's the Clippers team we need right now. A month and a half of them being the best team in the NBA, because unfortunately the best team in the NBA right now is a team that has won 19 of their last 23 games, and I'm talking about the Los Angeles Lakers, and that goes back to before Luka Doncic getting there. John,
do you think the biggest mistake they had was that they gave up Kevin Porter Jr. for nothing?
God, no.
To Milwaukee?
I think that's the last thing that I'm. I don't have any seller's remorse about that. I don't. I wish him all the best, but Kevin Porter Jr., his style of play was hard to watch.
So, in your opinion, why have they been so bad the last
3 weeks or 4 weeks.
I'll give it to you, John, but I got to take a couple of calls here. Again, the UCLA grad, like you brought up, is the biggest reason why. It's as simple as that. You're missing 24 points per game, an efficient 24 points per game, a guy who should have been an all-star. He's been that good for the Clippers. He's been that vital for them because he offers shooting, which they don't have a ton of, and he does it at a high clip and high efficiency, John. How about that?
Yeah, Norman Powell is huge, but they had Norman Powell for the majority of the season. That can't be the reason why they did.
And they were much better.
It is.
So when they had Norman Powell, they were much better. Their offensive rating is significantly better with Norman Powell on the floor. John, I appreciate you, my friend, but I got to get to a couple of other callers here. Let's go to somebody in the 323. Who could it be? You're on Clipper Stock with Adam Osland. What's up?
Come on, Adam. You know who it is.
Who it is? Is this
up,
Jason? Who is this?
It's Big J-Dog. Come on.
J-Dog? I thought it was.
Yes, sir.
All right. I don't have you programmed in here, so, I have to go off of area codes.
You're right. Well,
Jason?
I hate to say it. I hate to say it, but I think I might have been the one to manifest this for the Clippers, guys.
What'd you do?
Because I don't know if you remember the stretch towards the beginning of the season when we the first time we were losing like 2-3 games in a row, and people were saying overreacting already, like, oh yeah, blow it up, oh this and that, F Zubac, all these others. I was the one saying, I'm like, come on, man, we're good, guys, we're good. We hit another little up and down coming up. We started hitting a little, I think it was like a 3-game losing streak afterwards again. A little bit more overreacting, And then I said, I'm like, hey, guys, it could be worse. There's been seasons in the past. There's been seasons in the past where we have horrible stretches of games that bring us down in the standings. I've been a Clipper fan for a long time. I've seen it happen. So I said to myself, guys, we shouldn't be too hard on this team. We're doing good. We're overachieving. We're all saying it. And I felt like it could be worse. We could have 15-10 stretches of bad games. And
you tempted the basketball gods. You tempted the basketball gods.
Here it is. Yeah, and I did, for the same reason, I did not put it out into the chat. I did not type it out into the chat. I never put it out into existence. But, it's the Clippers. What can you say?
It's rough, J-Dog.
I know.
It can be worse. It has been worse. I don't know if it can get much worse than this because some people, they're just going to get apathetic. Like, after a loss like this, if they lose tomorrow by 10 to the Detroit Pistons, I don't know if I could say that's the worst loss of the season.
That's true.
This is
it, even though with these past results, is it bad to say, or am I just probably so used to it as a Clipper fan over time to just being disappointed so much that I'm kind of saying it's still not over yet? Is it bad that I'm still thinking like that? Am I being optimistic?
I would keep hope. I'm trying to keep hope alive. Like, Kawhi did look good overall, movement-wise tonight. Maybe he got gassed. Maybe the Clippers' offense just stalled out, and guys were trying to put too much on themselves to finish the game instead of playing team basketball. But they can still be a very talented and dangerous team if they get things together. But it's past the point of getting it together. Like, how long do we have to wait for that to happen? So
exactly.
I understand if it's fallen on deaf ears, offering hope right now. I know a lot of people are just going to turn away.
Yeah, no, for sure. I get that. No, I'm still, well, that's all I got to say, honestly. I don't want to vent too much, It's a nice day for me today, but I'm still not done with this team yet. I think it's just a rough patch. That's all I'm taking it as. That's all I'm trying to take it as.
We've all been through worse as Clippers fans.
Yeah, we'll bounce back. We'll be fine.
Let's do it tomorrow, J-Dog.
So that's all I wanted to say. I told you I was going to call in tonight, so I had to,
I appreciate you, man. You're consistent.
Got you. I got you.
All right, J-Dog. Hopefully we'll talk tomorrow, and it'll be under better circumstances.
I have a good feeling. I called today a coffee 60-plus piece. I was way off, bro.
All right, J-Dog. Appreciate you. We got some open lines, 866-987-2570, 866-987-2570, and somebody's calling in from the 470. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Jay from Georgia.
Hi, Jay. How you doing? You're on Clippers Talk with Adam Osno. We spoke before?
No, we haven't.
Okay. Well, first time caller. What led you to call tonight? Are you in complete misery? Misery loves company. You want to be together?
Yeah, yeah. So, well, my first question, Adam, is because I do watch the show a lot, and my question to you is, I notice you always say the like we didn't get the ball to Zoo enough. Why do you think we don't do that?
I think they've built up bad habits over the years because for so long, Zoo was like a 5th or 6th option, and they were loaded with stars who would ISO and get into their bags, and they see Ivica Zubac still as that guy who's 24, 25, and it's like, no, he's 28 now, and he's been good for a while, but I think it's bad habits.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I do think Zoo is good. I do think sometimes he's disappointing. I'll be honest. I don't understand what Ty Lue is doing with the team. I don't get it.
What
I don't
specifically,
get
Jay?
the direction that he's going. Like you said with the Zoo thing, like if Zoo is playing well, why aren't they feeding him more?
There are definitely times where there's a good excuse where they double him, where it has led to turnovers. But in a game like this, first of all, James Harden did feed him a ton. They didn't, though, enough in crucial moments to me. He got 5 shots up in the fourth quarter. He went 3 of 5. He made his free throws. He made a couple clutch ones. And the offense had stalled. And to me, that's when you got to go to what has been most effective for you in that game. And to me, that's Ivica Zubac more. Instead of, there was a time where he had Devin Booker on him on a switch, and James Harden settled for a step back 3. That's the type of stuff that can't happen to me.
Okay. Yeah, and then it's like with the rest of the team, like I get we're missing Norm, but my thing is other teams. It's not like the Clippers are the only team that has injuries. Like, you can look around the league, other teams, maybe not as many, but other teams they miss.
It's tough to
players
compete with the
and they
Clippers.
still manage to win.
It's tough to compete with the Clippers when it comes to the amount of injuries. That's for sure. But I get what you're saying. They're not the only team banged up. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I think it's the biggest reason why they're on this losing streak. They do miss Norm that bad. It's not an excuse. They should be better than this. I'm just trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like teams like for example, hell, tonight the Suns, we played them. They didn't have Bradley Beal. Now he hasn't been the greatest for them, but he's still an important piece.
But how about the fact that
you look at
Gillespie comes in
Gillespie
comes in his place and ends up being the X factor in this game.
Exactly. So it's just like it seems like we can't. If it's not our main guys, we can't get anybody to step up, and that's like really frustrating because again, I see teams they don't have guys all the time and they win. Hell, the crosstown rivals, the Lakers, they didn't have before they got Luka, they didn't have AD for a few games and they beat the Knicks, and then even since they've gotten Luka, he's had to sit and they still win without him. It's like, but with us, every time we miss a guy. Or not a guy, obviously it's Norm in this case, but he's very important, but still, it's just pointing out that other teams can miss even important guys and they can still at least pull out a few games. I'm not saying go undefeated without Norm, but at least pull out a few games. And we've been basically the opposite. We won one game without Norm. And that just seems kind of unacceptable. So
since November, They've won, one game without Norman Powell since November, and that was the Bulls game where Harden went off for 20 points. And I do not think that Norm is a good enough excuse because of how some of these games have gone. it's one thing to lose to the Pacers and the Pistons because they didn't have Kawhi either for those 2 games. Okay. But the Bucks game, where I know they were missing Norm, but they had Kawhi, and they had a 13-point lead in the fourth quarter. And Giannis didn't play the second half of that game. There's no excuse to lose that game. And they had chances to win both Laker games, even being down 21 in the second one. They had chances. They definitely had chances and fumbled it away with bad turnovers in the fourth quarter of the first one. And then tonight, I can't excuse a 23-point loss.
Exactly. And then I don't know what the team's plan is. I get the idea that they want to, allegedly stay competitive because we don't have our pick. But to me, other teams have been in this situation, like the Nets. They were in this situation where they didn't have their picks, and now it's different because they were forced to blow it up and guys demanded trades, but they blew it up, got other teams' picks, and then they ended up being able to get their own picks back. And my whole thing is if this team is paying guys to be competitive, and we're falling now to the point where we're not even going to be competitive. You're the 9th seed, that's one and done territory, and not even making the playoffs. You still might give OKC your pick. So my thing is they've got to do something. They either got to do something to make themselves more competitive to where they can stay in the top 6 and justify paying these guys, or blow it up and get some kind of picks anyway. Because if you stay as you are, trying to stay competitive, this team is only going to get older. James Harden is already clearly not Houston James Harden, and I'm not blaming him for that. Everybody gets old, but the point is that you're only going to get older. James Harden is not going to come back next year and be 25. Kawhi, he already has his injury history. Who knows when the decline may start if it hasn't already started. So it's like you're going to end up giving good picks to OKC anyway, to make a long story short. So it's better to have someone else's picks than to not have any picks at all, or do something to try to maximize these guys while they're still not completely falling off the cliff. And I think, I kind of thought this year was the last year. Maybe next year will be the last year. But I just think something has to be done to go in one direction or the other.
I think that's a really smart point, Jay. I think the problem was they got into that no man's land a little bit because it looked much more hopeful a month ago. A month ago, we thought they might be able to sneak in and get a top 4 seed. So they didn't have some big sell-off. Like, let's say before the trade deadline, they were where they are now in the 9th spot. Then maybe you entertain making some of those big moves and trading guys for picks because it doesn't look like you're going anywhere anyways. But at the time, it still felt like, man, if Kawhi comes back and he gets right, they might be able to get a top 4 seed. And now that possibility is pretty much gone. So I think the timing of this really hurt them in some ways, right?
Yeah, I can agree with that. It's just, like I said, something has to change one direction or the other. And I'll say this also, the last thing. So I kind of want to push back on like the other caller a few callers ago who said like he's proud of the 500 streak. And I understand that in the context of how bad the Clippers used to be. But in the big context of, especially with Steve Ballmer building a new arena and the team trying to start a new era, is that's not a good enough goal to try to go after. Because, for example, there's a reason why the Lakers are so much more popular than the Clippers in LA, and it's not just because of the colors. It's because of their history. Yeah. If you swap the Lakers and the Clippers history, the Clippers would be the team of LA. And I say all that to say is that while I do understand why you would say that you're proud of the winning streak, at some point that has to not be good enough if you want to ever be a viable team.
Yes.
Especially in LA, unless you're just going to move cities or something. But even if you move cities, wherever you go, long story short, people want winners, and they want people who ultimately at some point are going to try to win a championship. Again, it's 30 teams. Only one team can win a championship per year. So I'm not trying to say they have to go on a 3 out of 5 or a Warriors dynasty type run, but there has to be some kind of goal to win a championship. You look at the attendance numbers, the Clippers are last in attendance. And again, that's not just because the name of the team or the jersey colors. It's because of the histories of the team. And at some point, if you do want to grow the fan base, you do have to put something more meaningful on the board than a winning streak that doesn't really matter to anyone that hasn't been a Clippers fan for 30 years. That really only matters to people who can look back and say, oh, well, we used to be terrible. But at some point, if you want to appeal to a broader audience, I do think the team has to go for a higher goal than that. And when we're stuck in these kind of no man's land type positions for years and years, it doesn't seem like that's going to change. But I'll end there.
Jay, I think you've had a brilliant phone call, very smart. I do think they're not going to be stuck in no man's land for years. I think they have a plan. They're going to have a ton of money coming up. But I agree with you. You have to aim higher. It's not nothing if they get to 14 straight winning seasons, longest winning streak currently in the NBA. But that's not the ultimate goal. That's not how you change the perception of the franchise. You have to win at the highest level. So I'm with you. And Jay, hell of a phone call. Don't make it the last one, please.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day, Adam. Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks, Jay. We got somebody from the 818 here. 818, you're on Clippers Talk. What's your name?
Marcel, NoHo.
Marcel, are you in the chat?
Yeah, I was. Yes. I'm still here. Still in the chat.
I feel like I've seen you in here plenty. Marcel, what's up? What do you want to say?
Nothing. Just pretty bummed out, but believe it or not, like I still have a lot of optimism. Kind of like the earlier caller. Like I've been a Clipper fan for a very long time, so I've seen worse. So I'm still optimistic. Like I'm pretty shocked that we still lost that game, but I'm trying to think about the little stuff. Like, did we get better? Like from that Laker game, we did get a little bit better. Like we never trailed by 10 points, right? That was a pattern. We kept trailing by 10 points the last 6. We never trailed. And I was thinking this is going to be a statement game, It looked like it. It sure looked like it was a statement game. Even that Kawhi poster that we got me all hyped, And it all fell apart in the fourth, kind of like I've seen this movie before. And yeah, it happened. And you said it before. It's too late to make these kind of patterns, these bad habits. It's too late in the season to keep happening. So that has me concerned. But like, I don't know. There's like they're almost there. Just I know they're missing Norman Powell and stuff, but we were up 20 without Norman Powell to a Suns team that has our number. So I feel like just hang in there. We're almost there. Like it, just like they were saying in the TV and the TNT, it just takes a play, like just a play to just turn it around. And I think maybe we hit rock bottom this game. I mean, I thought the Laker game, both Laker losses were rock bottom. But I'll be honest with you, every time we face the Lakers, I'm confident. Like I'm super confident, but like I wasn't confident this time. I really wasn't. Like that was the first time we played the Lakers where I wasn't confident on either game. Going into those games. So I feel like
I can understand why. They've won 6 of 8 against the Clippers now the last 2 years.
Yeah.
But you're right. I thought I had the exact same feeling. Marcel, that this could be a statement type of win, that they were going to crush them, blow them out, and they were going to start to solidify a brand of basketball that they were going to continue to play consistently now. That's how it felt early on.
Yeah, it did. And then I remember when we played that Bucks game out of the All-Star game, the defense looked great. It looked amazing. It looked elite.
The third quarter. That third quarter was one of the best defensive third quarters ever. And tonight, the second quarter was one of the best offensive quarters ever, I thought.
Something happened in that Bucks game with I never seen the defense look that good before. And that gave the game away. Same, kind of Clipper way it happened. And I feel like it kind of messed with their psyche or something. But we haven't been the same since that Bucks game. Like, we haven't been the same. Like, that Bucks game where the defense looked great, and then we fell apart at the end. It happened today, too. We fell apart at the end, And it just has – it's like a little tweak. Like maybe it's Ty Lue, a little adjustment. It's a little tweak that we need to get this thing rolling, with or without Norman. I mean, of course, Norman Powell will be a great help, but we have enough. Like, we could have beat this. The last 3 games were winnable. we'll be having a different conversation. The last 3 games, like if Kawhi made his free throws in that first Lakers game, if Kawhi had a little bit of help in that second Lakers game, and in this game, if we just, had it together, we would have been having a different conversation. So it's just like we're almost there, just like a little tweak that we're missing.
I don't hate that idea that they're not that far away, that it feels like they're closer than they should be for having lost 6 of their last 7. And to support your point, they have lost the last 6 games by a total of, I think, just 45 points. Is that right? I think I have that right. Like 5 of their last
25.
Okay. If I take out one of them, if I take out the loss to the Pacers by 18, they have lost 5 of these last 6 games. They have lost by a total of 27 points. So we're talking about losing by an average of 5 points per game. But, it's people are going to say a loss is a loss, no moral victories. But I agree with you in the sense that it hasn't felt like they're that far because they put it together for quarters where they play amazing basketball. They put it together for stretches where they look great. The Bucks third quarter, tonight's second quarter, their defense was really good, I think, overall against the Lakers. They didn't score a ton of points against them. But in the end, there's 21 games left. Like, you have to start.
Yeah.
It can't just be good process, but we lost. You need good results at this point, too.
Yeah, I know. Like, it is getting a little. I know there's only 20 games left. I know there's like this saying where like when there's a tweak in the offense, your defense takes a hit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is true. We have Kawhi back, and then like we're still adjusting. I feel like Kawhi is back. Like, what do you think about Kawhi? I know he looked good in the Laker game, the last one.
He looked good,
and this one. We got a Kawhi poster, like I haven't seen him. He had like 3-4 dunks tonight.
He looked good. It was really just till the fourth quarter. He even had, I think, 8 points in the third. He looked really good. I watched a baseline move where he blew by 2 guys, and I thought, wow, he's got a really good burst going right now. So, pause. Is that that fourth quarter, it doesn't erase all the good I saw from Kawhi in this game, but did he run out of some gas, or was it just bad offensive plays and too much ISO ball and just bad process in the fourth quarter? I think it might have been that. I hope. Like, is it schematically, they just made some really poor decisions and they thought they could run the clock out on the Phoenix Suns?
Yeah. I was in my own head. I was running the clock out. I kept looking at the clock, like it told the lead up. I kept looking at the clock myself, and it was pretty bad. But I do feel like today was going to be the statement game, and I feel like we hit rock bottom today. And I'm pretty optimistic that tomorrow is the game. Tomorrow is the game that we have like a good win without Kawhi Leonard. I don't know. I just kind of feel it because there's no way it can get worse than this, But I do feel like we're gonna bounce back tomorrow.
We've been saying that, but then it's the whole "hold my beer" joke. It can't get worse than this. But it has been. So I think you're right. I hope you're right that they bounce back with a big victory tomorrow, and they're gonna have to do it without Kawhi. But Marcel, good phone call, my friend. Become a regular here. I liked your analysis.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Talk to you soon.
All right. Before we close out here, so we're nearing midnight, we got some post-game audio from Ivica Zubac. Joey Lynn has this at Joey Lynn with 2 N's and an underscore at the end, being asked Ivica Zubac about how they can get out of this rut.
Defense, man. Defensively, we got to be better. We did pretty good on defense for the first, I would say, 2.5 quarters. But, we got to play 48 minutes. I think offensively we were better tonight, but we just gave up too much in those end of the third quarter and beginning of the fourth.
I know a season could have ebbs and flows, peaks and valleys. Does this feel like the low point?
I don't know. It can always be worse.
Oh, God. I was looking for some positivity here from Ivica Zubac, and I think I just got the quote of the year. It can always be worse. Oh, my God.
I don't know. It can always be worse, but we got to stick with it. We're missing some guys. We got to stay together. We got to trust the process. We got to trust the coaching staff. We got to trust each other, hold each other accountable. We got to be better defensively than this, and even on the offense side, just kind of mowing the ball, playing off of each other, reading the defense. It's like you got to stick with it. No one's going to help us.
I got to hear this again. Wait, it's not loading now. Maybe I'm not supposed to hear it again. No, I want to hear it one more time. I want to hear it one more time.
Point. Does this feel like the low point?
I don't know. It can always be worse. It can always be worse, but we got to stick with it.
Okay. I don't want to end like this, but that's just too funny. Try to have a laugh, I guess. Laugh to hold back the tears. Appreciate everybody in here. Before we get out, Clippers Talk, as always, is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest way to play fantasy sports, and it's available in over 30 states. All you got to do is pick higher or lower on your favorite player stats or your least favorite player stats, and you can win up to 100 times your money. Make picks, win money, and I got a free promo code for you that will give new users a free pick and up to $1,000 in bonus cash. The promo code is LAC, and you can find it and the referral link in the description down below in this very episode. Underdog Fantasy. Make picks, win money. Wait, it can always be worse. There's another caller from the 616 calling in. You're on Clippers Talk. What's your name?
Oh, you forgot about me. Oh, wait. It's back one more Gizman. You know who it is, Adam. You know who it is, Adam Bob.
It's Clayvon!
Woo! Woo!
Clayvon,
let me do it one more time. Woo!
Clayvon swooping in to save us at the very end of the episode.
Hey, baby, it ain't over yet, man. It ain't over yet. I mean, dog, look, man, it's always darkest before the sun shines. You feel me?
Yeah. But
I'm looking at Ivica Zubac putting up. How many put up? That was 31 points he put up?
35, a career high.
God damn. I mean, look, man, we got to look at the positives. You know what I'm saying? It's messed up looking right now. And like you said, it can always be worse, man. When I heard that, I was like, man, fuck that. Let me go ahead and holler at my dog Adam real quick. Let me go ahead, man, because that's true, man. You got to, when you at the bottom, man, look, man, you got to look down and you got to see the piece of dog shit, man. That's lower than you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, man, I see the dog shit. Let me go in the call in. I was out feeling a little under the weather. I was feeling a little sad. I got done doing my little yoga a little bit, and I'm like, man, shit. Man, Zubac right, man. It could be. And I don't want to jinx nothing because we know what it feels like to have more than one star out at a time. You know, when we had Kawhi and PGL, you know what I'm saying? So it's real business. Like, we got to take the good from the bad. Like, if we were still, like, if it was only like 5 games left, then I'd just be like, man, stick a fork in their ass. It's over. You know what I'm saying? But shit, like you said, we got like 21 more games left. And I think that, you know, that is a good sign because it's not like we've been getting blown out. You know what I'm saying? We was getting blown out, Paul.
you know what I'm saying, by all these other teams, even the Lakers. Yo, they barely, you know how I feel, man. I hate the Lakers, man. I hate them. You know what I'm saying? And I hate Phoenix, too. I ain't going to hold you up. God, how the fuck did you lose? How do we lose to the same team every time we play them in one season? I don't think I've ever seen that shit before. I'm not going to hold you up. That shit had me like, man, come on, dog. And I see it. I see it, though. Second, hey, I wasn't surprised by the amount of injuries we have at the same time because, once again, second oldest team in the NBA, right? And then you could say, oh, well, you know, the Suns is older than them. True. But when you have Kevin Durant, it's only so many stars in the game that age gracefully. And I definitely see James Harden, he's still aging gracefully, even though, you know, he is putting up them hero sandwich shots and shit, you know what I'm saying, with cheese. I can see that. But at the same time, I stop and I look at it like, yeah, we do have a star that is aging pretty gracefully, and I'm grateful for that. Like, hey, we could be down 2 stars. You know what I'm saying? And so it's been a blessing in that state, seeing Kawhi do pretty. Hey, he's getting aggressive. He out there getting aggressive, getting to the rim. You know, that little switch step he do, and he turn around, man, I'm starting to see it. So him and Avisa Zubac, what they're doing, I believe, is just getting on the same wavelength because they weren't really able to do that at the beginning of the season. So I see that positive. You know what I'm saying? James Harden. Look, first of all, I'm going to say this too. I love Chris Dunn, but you done, son. You're done. Yo, stop shooting them threes. Please. You missing. Look, man. And my man was right earlier. It's unfortunate, but they do leave them open to shoot that three, man. And that shit be like, please don't. That's getting to the Westbrook status. You know what I'm saying? Like, please don't do that, man. Look, go for the easy 2. When they were giving him the ball, he was going for the easy 2 underneath the hoop. Man, he was looking good. He was confusing them. They was all scrambling and shit. Like, oh, shit, where'd Chris Dunn go? And get Chris Dunn underneath, hey, putting in an easy 2. Looking good, man. Stop. Look, just because, what do they say? There's a thing of being too open. You can be too open. Pause. You know what I'm saying? You can be too goddamn open. And I feel like when he just at that, look, if I'm Ty Lue, I'm like, if y'all lose again, everybody, I don't give a damn how tired you are. Everybody shooting 300 3-pointers. Okay? Don't put your car keys up, Kawhi. Everybody put your shit up. We shooting 300 threes. That y'all want to play around on this shit because we cannot keep losing those open threes, man. And Batum will come in and he'll light it up here, 1 or 2 good threes. And I think that as a role player, he's definitely doing his thing, man. You know what I'm saying? He come in, he put it up because he's an older man. That's why I really say that. They got rid of Sky Jones and younger people in the post, and I can understand that. You know what I'm saying? I think Jordan Miller came in looking pretty good for the little time that he was in. Just getting I could see his confidence building and shit. That's what I'm talking about. I'm like, yeah, build the confidence. Let's ease into it because we can't keep leaning on Powell, man. Oh, you know, Powell wasn't playing, so all right. Like my man that called from Georgia. That's real. Like, hey, you sitting up here talking about Powell, that's fine. Because every other team is losing stars like that, but they are able to compensate because the people on their bench step up. Now, mind you, we don't really have too many players coming off the bench that's able to fill in with that type of confidence and create their own shot. Yet we make up for a lot of that. And what is it? Weird. What is it? Number 1 and 2 in offense. What is it? Defensive rebounding.
Yeah,
am I right, Adam?
Their defensive rebounding percentage is good.
And it's like we can make up if we can take the offense, the defensive rebounding, and turn those into some quick transition points. We can do something. Chris Dunn, get your ass off the 3-point line and go into that quick. Hey, start cutting to the lane more. I think I saw y'all talking about that earlier too with Bogdanovich. You know what I'm saying? Hey, cut to the lane just to get these easy tools, man. So get the easy tools going. So when we start stretching out on them, we have any issues, put in the easy tool. Hey, Zubac had the hot hand. Tonight, they didn't have an answer for him. Keep feeding him. You know, like the little baby spoon, you know, that Gerber baby spoon, keep feeding them. Feed them peas and carrots, man. If they didn't have an answer for it, especially late in the fourth, go ahead and do that. Putting up all these damn pussy-ass hero shots and shit. That's not going to cut it, man. Like you said, that's a lesson we should have learned a long damn time ago. You got to be out there like you want to play. And I can't say, look, and I take that with a grain of salt because I am just a plain man, all right? But let me tell you something. I'm not out there on that flow. But when you look at it, for somebody that's putting their body on the line and making that type of bread, and you got to play with that enthusiasm, play with that heart. And they were looking kind of defeated. I ain't gonna lie. You only won one of your road games. Yo, that shit will hurt you. That's a break in your morale. But this is also an opportunity for somebody else to step up, and I think that's what Chris Dunn has been doing. But as well, that's an opportunity for somebody else to step up and show that they can hold that down. Whenever another player go down, that's really another player off the bench. That's their chance to show themselves, prove yourself, gain that authenticity in the eyes of Tyronn Lue so you can keep getting put out there. But I don't think anybody has really stepped up to that advantage. And, man, I fuck with the percolator, man. Big Coffee. Chilled Coffee. He come out there and do his thing. But, once again, it's the inconsistency sometimes. You know, the defense, okay, if you have Chris Dunn and Coffee out there, we can hopefully switch off and compensate for that. And Coffee needs to put up a couple more threes. Chris Dunn is shooting the amount of threes that Coffee should be shooting, honestly, you know? And I think they should bring somebody in, especially just work on Chris Dunn's threes or even some jump shots, man. We can turn to that jump shot team when we had, you know what I'm saying, Paul George, you know what I'm saying? And Kawhi was still healthy and they was hitting no mid. A lot of people don't know, man, if you got that mid-range, you really are doing something in the end. It's not all about the three. It's just getting right underneath the hoop. Get that jumper in. Man, most of Jordan's points were made off of jumpers, aren't they? If I'm not mistaken. Shit, man. Get that jumper in. Get these easy tools. Build your spirit up, because once you see that ball going through the hoop and it come out the bottom of that net, man, they run it down. They trying to hold, somebody they trying to hold back that smile and shit. Go in and smile, man. You did it. Yeah, feel good, man. Build that confidence up. But I think that's just a big blow coming off of those losses. Even though they small losses, they're building up, man. So now we going at Detroit, and somebody is going to have to take up the mantle because Kawhi Leonard's not going to be out there. Powell's not going to be out there. So now this is the chance for somebody to really just say, fuck it. Win, lose, or draw. Get your ass out there and put some decent shots. Don't just be shooting all these contested shots. Actually take some decent shots. Take the initiative and do that shit, man. That's all we got to do. You know, and I'm not saying that like I'm the motherfucker out there on the floor. Hey, man, watch out, man. This ain't Tool Squad. You know what I'm saying? Look, but my thing is to say to build up morale, man, because we still got a little ways to go. Even if we have to play in the plan, if we can play in the plan as a healthy team, God damn it, we're winning it. But the one thing that I don't like seeing is everybody getting on Harden on this one player when we're here for that reason. We're here for that very reason. If he didn't make it to the All-Star game because he wasn't playing that well this season, then all right, get on his ass. Right now, man, shit, he's only doing what he can, and then he starts putting up these, look, his morale is breaking too. You gotta understand, he's in desperation mode. You're right. He's getting older. Every year he's getting older. Why do you think he's always looking for the next best team? Because I'm looking at how Carmelo Anthony is. I'm looking at Iverson. I'm looking at all these players and these interviews that were great players and never won a ring. Look, they don't even fucking sleep. They lose sleep over that shit well after their careers is over. So that I understand that desperation, but he got to play with it. And if nobody else is showing him on the team, he's not going to be inspired to play. This is an art. And it comes by that inspiration. And that inspiration is lit by seeing somebody else turn into that torch, man. You know, and we can only say so much with Kawhi. Hey, man, he's doing great. Let's keep him healthy. Let's keep him in there. Somebody else is going to have to step up. Chris Dunn, I'm surprised and I'm happy, but it's going to have to be somebody else. And you know what I'm going to say, Adam? And goddamn it got to be somebody young. All right, we need some of that youthful spirit.
Jordan Miller.
I tell them, just jack up some shots. They'll put up the good shots, man. Put up the easy tools. I saw Jordan Miller in the paint. He put up that. I like the way he played. And then people can argue, oh, man, darn, that motherfucker's a bust and all of this other shit. He slows down. Like, when he gets the ball and he goes to the lane, it's crazy how he slows down. Like, I don't see too many players do that shit. He slows down to make these awkward shots. I'm like, oh, my. I'm thinking that shit ain't going to go in. And it go in. I'm like, damn. If you can utilize that skill a little bit more, man, he will be a fucking assassin. He just go in, he sprint towards the hoop, and then he just slows it down. That's like what Reggie Bush used to do in college, man. Have all them motherfuckers running and shit after him, and they'll slow down and keep going, and he'll stop and go the other way. I like those things. We need to start picking out the positive things. People picking apart certain players. I like how you also say, hey, bring up a solution to it. Put a solution in. Don't start bitching and tripping and moaning. Put in a solution. Even if it's awkward and it's weird, because I know a motherfucker tired of me talk about Jordan Miller and say, hey, man, I'm offering something. I'm bringing something to the barbecue. I'm bringing some chips. Motherfucker, I'm bringing some cake or something, some cups. Bring something to the barbecue. Don't be sitting up bitching, oh, man, the potato salad ain't shit. Man, bring something to the barbecue then. God damn it. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. So, shit, even if I sound far-fetched with it, hey, bring something to the barbecue, too. God damn it. Shit. I mean, out here going off, man. Let me wipe my forehead. Shit. Oh, wait.
Clayvon, you brought it all.
So that's all we looking for is just a spark in that spirit. All right, this Clip Nation. I wish I could be out there. Look, I'll get my crazy ass out there. I'll come see you. I'll come to one of them games, man. I ain't never been to a Clippers game in my life, and I'm from Anaheim, California. You feel me? I've been moving around since the fucking middle. I would love to get my ass to a Clippers game. And I'll bring my boys. Shit, I'll be showing out. They'll be like, hey, man, put the camera on that motherfucker, man. Clipper spirit. Yeah, I'll do it. Then I'll be like, hey, man, give me the mic. Hey, it's for Adam, man. You see him up there in the box? Yeah. Let's go. All right? But, hey, man, that's all I got to say on some real shit. Bring in bring in this talent that we have that's hidden. All right? And even if we don't have, what you got to lose? The fuck, we already on the losing streak. Goddamn, we ain't gonna see we probably not even gonna see the Suns no more. Even if they get kicked the fuck out of this shit, they can say, we whooped y'all's ass every time we played you. Should be tired of that shit. I turn to a heavyweight champion and shit, or I get close, and then that one dude be like, hey, yeah, but he ain't whoop my ass. Shit, I know that much. Oh, man, that's that motivation. That same spirit, let's get it. And hey, Ty Lue, start having them shoot 300 threes. Hey, I'm with that, though. I think Ty Lue is one of the best coaches I ever had, and he's real laid back, and I like the way he coached, but at the same time, sometimes you got to put that foot up in that ass and twist it sideways, up, down, all around, turnstile. Sometimes you got to do that because, hey, I'll tell you like this, we can't keep being inconsistent with that three-point shot. That shit is embarrassing, man. How you play all this good-ass good-ass defense, but then you can't do anything with it? And then by the fourth quarter, your defense is gone because, damn, nobody's either motivated or it's because they gassed out. You fucking gassed out, right? Put your second string in. Fuck it. Even if it's for 2 minutes. Let them breathe. Don't keep putting the same locations in and wonder why the second oldest team in the NBA is fucking having trouble keeping up and shit. Of course they are. Stress fractures, old injuries and shit. And Simmons back all fucked up. But yeah, I get it, man. And like I said, I ain't gonna be the first one to sit up and tell you, oh, there's a bug, you get the fuck up, this is your bullshit. Hey man, he's going through what he's going through, but as long as he's there when we really need him in that time to come. Get him healthy. Get him back out there when the time comes. Right now, and let Norman Powell nurse himself. Unfortunately, it happened like it did for him and Derrick Jones Jr. all earn that little rest. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather them have those issues now than when the playoffs come and shit, or we need them for a play-in. We talking about nobody, all of our starters is down for the play-in or something like that. It's a wrap. Then you could be like, oh shit, it's gonna be a snowball chance in hell of this motherfucker. But if it's not that case, man, shit, keep your spirit up. We got. I know how it feel to be the underdog. I've been following this team since I was 8 years old. Everybody around you, oh man, LeBron, Kobe and Shaq and all this, and I'm smiling and shit, but I'm like, shit, man, fuck them. I'm tired of that. We're going to see our team. I like you was playing that with Elton Brand. You was playing that old clip in the back. Hey, man, I used to be a big Quentin Richardson fan. Corey Maggette, Elton Brand, Kachino Mobley. Man, we had some squads. But I really feel like even if we don't have the super team or those type of bench players now, Jamal Crawford, hey, we got to work with what we got. And I think with chemistry, you'll be surprised what we can do. So that's the biggest thing, is just build up their confidence, build their chemistry so they can read each other. You can get more of that ball rotation around the arc. I love when they got the ball rotated and moving, not that all this ISO shit. And then when it comes to playing defense on the other team, you keep leaving Anderson and Gillespie fucking open because y'all trying to stop Kevin Durant. I'd rather him make a contested two, but by somebody playing some good defense as to we double teaming them and keep leaving one or two or three shooters wide the fuck open. Damn. Keep doing the same thing. Got Gillespie. I didn't even know who the fuck he was till tonight. I know now. I think that it's like the things that we do, the mistakes that we made are so identifiable by other teams because of the consistency. We consistently keep making the same mistakes. And people like by the late third, early in the fourth, they're like, oh man, we know how to beat these motherfuckers, man. They keep doing this. It's like fighting somebody and they keep throwing this motherfucker keep swinging big haymakers with his left or something. Oh yeah, I'm gonna just count him, wait till he throw this left, I'm punching his motherfucking throat or something. That's what's happening. They keep punching us in the throat. Offer solution. Get your chemistry up. 300 3-pointers every time we lose. Something like that, man. Let them know. Adam Bomb. Boosh. All I got to say.
I think you said a lot. I think it resonated with the audience.
Hey man, we love Adam. We love Cliff Talk. Hey man, everybody in the comment board was good. Cliff Talk, Cliff Nation. Man, shit, we bringing it back eventually. All right, we got to do this now because I would hate to see next season come and Ty Lue be like, man, or they try to press him or talk crazy to him, and he'd be like, man, I got to go or something. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all of that. They ain't gonna say this to me no more. Somebody offer me some money across the street or something crazy. No, man, it's a now thing. You know, we can talk about other seasons and shit. Oh shit, we can just wait until they get a pick in 2037 and shit. Fuck all that. We talking about right now. This shit's a lot of shit happening in the world. We need this right now, man. I mean, it might not be the next season. That's how I'll be moving and shit. I mean, you know, so let's do this right now. Let's work with what we got until it's the last game or some shit. Then you can start putting up your jersey like, hey man, shit, maybe next season, but we still got some life left, dog. Hey, Bogey coming out there training them. You see that? Man, that's confidence because his confidence is building. All right? That's all we need. Hey man, Cass is getting a stroke back. And that's giving life to even the second string. You know, when you start seeing Bogey get his shot back, you're like, damn, this motherfucker wasn't hitting shit for a minute. Damn, let me go on and step up. You know what I'm saying? Chris Dunn making some key stops and shit. Man, that shit, man, that's all you need, dog. That's all you need. Somebody can come out there. You got Eubanks, fuck around and Eubanks come out there and hit a 3-pointer on your ass or some crazy shit. I'm doing a damn windmill dunk on your ass or something. You know what I'm saying? Like on NBA Jam and shit. You set the hoop on fire and shit. You know what I'm saying? Boom, shakalaka. however it happened, though, man, it's all about just chemistry, man. They can build that breakneck chemistry because they got the talent there, and just find out how to get past those rough patches. So as the second oldest team in the NBA, our stars can get just a little bit of rest in between so they can save them for the fourth quarter, fight it out, hold on, and then they can come in the fourth quarter and close games like how the Lakers did with goddamn Luka and LeBron being in at the same time towards the end. Like, damn, we should be able to do that. It should be all shit. Damn, they put in Harden and they put in Kawhi at the end. Like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Hey, and the bench held out. So now they can come in and just have refreshed legs and shit and start putting up them shots, man. But until we get the right chemistry, man, we got the talent there. The chemistry is much needed, man, because that chemistry is going to light the fire, and that's going to bridge the gap between that late third, and mid-fourth quarter, man. That's it. That's all we need is a little life. God damn it. Shit, that's it. A little life. A little light of mine. I'm going to let it shine, nigga. Yeah. But anyway, I appreciate you, Adam.
Appreciate you too, Clavon. Thanks for coming through tonight. We needed this. You rallied the troops.
Hey, man.
We're all ready to run through a wall for you.
Hey, man, shit, let's talk. Hey, I'm the juggernaut, bitch. Let's run through these walls, man. Shit. I'll be back tomorrow night, win, lose, or draw, and shit, man. We're going to see what's cracking, because I'm right here. Hey, man, look. Hey, don't give these motherfuckers out here, Michigan, enough space to get to talking shit about us, man. Oh, yeah, you are Clippers. Now, I'll go get a load of spud at this place and shit. They got some, like, baked potato. They sell potatoes, and they put all the shit on it. Whatever the fuck. Anyway, I go up in there and they're Detroit fans. I want to go up in that motherfucker and get my spud and be like, yeah, y'all saw that game last night. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, man. Give me some extra cheese on my spud, bro. Yeah, we did that to y'all, you know? I don't have to go in that motherfucker with some shades on, looking all down and shit with a trench coat. Like, man, hey, ain't you a Clippers fan, bro? Yeah, what y'all at? I'm tired of that, man. Let's do something. Clips Nation, let's get it.
All right, Clavon. We'll talk tomorrow. Hell of a phone call. Good on you for coming through.
Hey, man, I love you. I appreciate you, Adam. Y'all have a good night. Be blessed, man.
You too. Clavon just saved the day again. What day is it? I am hyped for tomorrow's game and the next call from Clavon. Legendary. You know, the second call is kind of like, Temple of Doom. It was like, all right, but it wasn't great. Following up Raiders of the Lost Ark. But then The Last Crusade came in. The threequel, the third movie, pretty damn good. The third call from Clavon, legendary. Awesome phone call. I'm Adam Oslin. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Clippers taking on the Pistons at Intuit Dome. Hope to see you guys there. And remember, oh, come on. I thought I had the zoo clip. Oh, I thought I had it perfectly queued up. And remember,
I know a season could have ebbs and flows, peaks and valleys. Does this feel like the low point?
I don't know. It can always be worse, but it can always be worse, but.
Why am I saving this as a soundbite? Why am I doing this to myself? Why?
It can always be worse. 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 It can always be worse.
Come on, Clippers winning tomorrow. I feel it. Let's go, Clips. Tomorrow, things are going to be different. Things are going to change. I can feel it. Clippers backing into it, Dome. I'll see you guys there. Pre-game show back here at 6:30. I'm Adam Osland. This has been an extended edition of Clippers Talk After Dark. Love you all.
It can always be worse.